Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, an actual play podcast. Today is our first episode of season 2024, but you can hop in at any episode that you'd like because they all have their own beginning and end to their story. So don't feel bad if you miss an episode, it's not a big deal. Whatever, just keep going. Because they stand sturdily on their own, you can listen to these adventures in any order and you can skip any you don't enjoy. Today, we're playing using the combat mechanics from a game called Desperado Quickdraw. It's our first time playing, so we might make some mistakes. This is a pre-release system we received from the creator. Hopefully it'll be available in the future and you can play a game with your friends. Speaking of friends, today we are joined by Bartholomew Salvador.
Hello everyone, I'm Bartholomew Salvador. I'm a 6'2" human man with auburn hair, white skin, and blue eyes, wearing a green regimental coat with beige facings, beige breeches, and a black tricorn hat. I am a renowned poet from where I come from, and I'd like to read one for you now. Is The Lone Mountain Clover. Another mighty storm has ravaged the stony outcropping. No vegetation remains, save for the lone mountain clover. Spared by cruel fate, the survivor prepares for a reckoning. Its next of kin, deeply rooted, stronger than what came before.
Guvo Strongfoot.
Hello, I am Guvo. I am a large frog person. I weigh typically between 400 and 500 pounds, but I'm only quite short at 5'2". I used to be a gladiatorial agent, and now I'm just a frog for hire, looking for the best person to kill me. While particularly eating some delicious food.
Zidane Carmichael.
Well, hello there, everybody. Yes, I am indeed Zidane Carmichael. I am in my early 30s. I'm about 6'2", give or take. Very muscular. Have a slight tan complexion from all the time I've spent working outdoors. I used to be a gladiator. That was a very long time ago, about 200 years ago. I don't remember lots of my past, and I am currently wearing a suit with a red vest, and the shirt I chose today was black, but I do not wear ties. I find them restrictive.
You are all in the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. The guild is a large building with a bar. It's like picture your typical neighborhood bar. And inside that bar, there's a sitting area with wooden tables and chairs, and a wall with a corkboard and job flyers posted. The 2-foot-tall, elderly dwarf leader of Fire Breathing Kittens is dragging a stool across the floor towards the corkboard. Screech! Screech! Seeing you, he stops that horrific sound and leaves the stool where it is. He approaches you three and says, "Perfect timing! You saved me a trip! This is a great first adventure for new fire-breathing kittens. Form a trio, you three, and go on an entry-level adventure together. It's prepaid, so I'm holding $1,000 for each of you that I'll release when the client says they're happy with what you've done. $1,000 each. What do you say? Are you in?"
That could buy a lot of food. I'm definitely in.
Well, that could be at least 1 month's rent. I can stand to go on an adventure.
That's a very expensive rent you have there, my friend. Where do you live?
I like to live in luxury.
Clearly.
I've this very good prospect, Nuthasag. I'll take you up on this offer. It'll be a good place for me to look for answers to the riddle and for the curse I've been trying to solve.
Did you say curse? Excuse me, little dwarf. Did you say curse?
Yes, my hometown is under this curse of undead roaming the land and attacking us once per year. A horde of revenants come down from the mountains to attack our village. It's been like this my entire life, and that's why I'm here. I'm looking for an answer to this curse.
That sounds quite exciting. All those undead. Think of all the food that gets left behind.
Oh, unfortunately, nothing gets left behind with them. They turn into dust and fly back to Summerfell Estate, that cursed place. Cursed manor on the top of the mountains.
So what is this mission you want us to go on, little dwarf?
Oh, I was distracted by how sad that is. I'm so sorry for you, Bartholomew. I'm glad you're here with us, safe in the fire-breathing kittens. But, do you want to go out and possibly get killed on this? I feel conflicted, but, well, Guvo, here's the flyer. And he hands you a piece of paper with squiggles on it in a mysterious, illegible design. The tattoo on your skin tingles, and the squiggles resolve into a letter. Everyone, where is that tattoo that Nulisag gave you when you joined?
Mine is on my forearm.
My tattoo is on my right shoulder blade.
My tattoo is on my back. Just the entirety of my back is the tattoo.
That's a big one. They didn't tell me what size I could have, so I took it as small as humanly possible. And that must have taken quite a while to have that tattooed on you. It did hurt.
A couple of days.
Wow. You are very dedicated.
I just don't like having it out in the open. I'd like to keep it covered up, but I am very proud to be a part of the Fire-Breathing Kittens now that they're helping me. I just don't like to be very braggadocious about showing it off.
I love being braggadocious. It's my favorite thing to do.
That's now my new favorite word. Did you make it up?
No, it's a part of the common language, but you're welcome to use it as often as you like. Braggadocious. It means show offy. You like to brag about yourself.
Well, that's definitely something I would see quite a lot in the gladiatorial arenas. Many people find themselves wanting to brag about their skills.
Yes,
and
yes, I do.
Swordplay.
So what does this letter say?
I will try to read it.
He stares at it for quite a while.
The flyer says, "Help! Our sheriff has gone missing, and we're in grave danger. Signed, the town of Karmic Hills, near McHale Island. The rest of the space is a map. You're currently in the port city of Nicomoy on the east coast. The Karmic Hills are east in the water. They're an island. They're east of the much larger McHale Island, and are a teensy-weensy, itty-bitty island, way too small to be on most maps."
How far is it in traveling terms, little dwarf?
In, time or distance?
Both. They both seem appropriate.
It's about 40 miles, and I don't know how long that would take you in a boat. Probably a few hours? I don't know. I don't think boats go very fast.
Does it have to be a boat?
I don't know. Can you fly?
I can swim quite fast, you see.
Okay. Well, then how fast can you swim 40 miles in the ocean?
40 miles an hour.
An hour. All
Quite
right.
appropriate, really.
Wow.
I've got strong legs. Not that you could see them anyway, but in the water I'm quite dexterous.
I'm so glad you joined us. Our new adventurers this year are so strong. None of you are going to die this time.
Oh, that would be pretty good, though. I do like the idea of dying. The best death, the better.
What?
It's a gladiatorial thing, Bart. Don't worry about it.
Ah, I see.
I want to die as gloriously as possible.
Well, I guess we need to suit up then, gear up, and get ourselves ready to travel to this island and save these poor people.
Have you either of you ever been to this place before?
Nope.
I've never heard of it.
Maybe we should ask some people around here to see if they know anything about it. We can't go in completely blind.
He brings up a fair point. We probably should go ask around town, see if anyone's heard of this place.
Little
And
dwarf.
then we can save the people.
Yes, save them all. Dwarf. Little dwarf. Man, woman, I don't know what you are. I'm sorry. I can't tell the difference. What is this place like?
He sighs and is like, "I've never been there myself, honestly. I just got the job. and they seemed like they were in danger because they were panicking, and they wire transferred me that money so fast. So I'm just holding it and waiting for you guys to get there. But I will say that when I got this map, it's interesting that they sent me their own map. It seems like it's much smaller than other islands, and it's not on most maps. It seems like a teensy-weeny place. Just a few people live there. Not a large city at all. Probably mostly bush.
Bush.
Woods.
Woods. Right.
Water.
Water as well. Bit of everything.
Everything a burgeoning civilization needs.
Yes.
Oh, and they were crying.
What was crying? The bushes.
No, the people who hired us. Yeah.
Why were they crying?
You know, they said their sheriff was missing.
But they're very attached to the sheriff then, I imagine.
It's a small town. Probably very attached, yeah.
Well, if they've got no one strong enough to do it themselves, then I guess we need to do it.
Well, now that we know a little bit about this place, now is it time that we suit up to go fight the glorious evils?
I like the sound of that.
I agree. I'm going to get my friend Alistar and we'll head out.
Who is Alistar?
Oh, I'll introduce you to him. It's my horse, Alistar.
I do like the taste of horse. I'm sorry.
Wait, no.
Sorry. I just have a mind for food. I am getting a little bit peckish. Could we eat before we leave?
Sounds like a plan. Please don't eat my horse. I'm sure you seem like a fine gentleman. I know you wouldn't mean that.
Not unless I was very hungry.
I understood. Yes. Bartholomew looks around a bit, kind of worried, but at the same time, he's like, I'm sure if you saw someone's horse with a saddle, he would think twice or ask around before. Just
Definitely ask before you eat. That's a good way to live.
Of course, but if you were starving, I could understand. But please don't eat my horse.
I will promise I will try.
Try not to eat the horse or try to eat the horse.
Anyway, waiter, I would like 12 plates of sausages, please.
A white-haired woman behind the bar, this is Nusi, the bartender, you all have ordered drinks from her before, brings you a paper to-go bag filled with sausages. And it's quite large. It's reinforced. It's one of them thick, sturdy bags. And says, I'll put it on your tab.
Please do. Nice snack before we leave.
And he just woofs the whole thing down in one go.
My God, that was horrifying.
Yeah, you just see, like, because he's a frog, he has like gigantic mouth. So his mouth opens up ridiculously wide. The sort of the chin, I don't know what these things call them, frogs. The throat opens up, and he just sort of like throws these sausages down, and like there's no chewing. It's just swallowing the whole thing. It's quite horrifying to hear and see all at once. I imagine you see a few people even just turning around and looking at this spectacle in
I go
horror and
wide-eyed.
amazement.
I've saved one just for you, my new friends. Would you like a sausage? They're quite
certainly,
delicious.
Yeah, I'll
But
take.
you've only saved one. I guess we'll split it in half.
Sorry, I thought while eating them I should save them, then I forgot. And then I realized that there's one at the bottom of the pack. So you can have this one. It's quite large.
And it's like probably about 6 inches in length.
This is a nice treat. Speaking of treats, I'll need to get a treat for Alistar. Let me see here.
Does he eat
vegetables-
sausages?
No. Horses don't particularly eat meat. They eat vegetables. And okay. Oh, here's a nice carrot. I'll get this for Alistar.
As soon as he sees you taking like ordering a carrot, he then looks and starts to dribble a little.
I'll have a bag of carrots as well, please, for the journey. I can share with my new horse friend. Fatten him up. I mean, feed him nicely. Look after him.
Oh, man. Guvo's like $50 down and hasn't even gone out the door. Getting $950.
He's got quite a good pension from his gladiatorial arena, Does him well. Feeds him.
Yeah.
Feeds and houses him.
It's all he needs.
Exactly. Food. And that's it. He's good.
Yeah, you have your bag of carrots.
Hooray.
Are you not eating, Zidane?
Well, I'm going to take this half sausage that I was splitting with Bart, and I'll go ahead and just consume it now because I don't want to get everything all greasy.
Do you want any food for the journey?
I'll just order like a Reuben.
What's that?
It's a sandwich.
A sandwich, you say?
Yes.
What type of sandwich? Describe it to me in detail.
It's either pastrami or corned beef with sauerkraut and
Sounds
dressing.
delicious. One for me as well, please.
on rye
should
bread
probably-
if you like rye bread.
I like all things.
Lucy brings you 3 Reuben sandwiches.
Delicious.
I take one, and while eating the sandwich, I recall Zidane calling me Bart, and I say to him, "Oh, I noticed you called me Bart. I haven't heard that name since my childhood. That was my childhood name growing up. I guess it's nice to have nicknames in these groups, these guilds these guilds around. I don't get out much. I haven't heard that name in so long." He says with a smile. He's very touched that someone's calling him Bart.
Yeah, it's much easier to say than Bartholomew 1,000 times, so Bart is an excellent nickname to give you.
About the only one that calls me Bart anymore is my sister.
Where is she?
Oh, she's back home with my mother.
Oh.
They're both nurses and guardswomen of the town I'm from. I am from Pine Drake, up north near Shelton.
Aren't you worried about their safety? With all those undead fellows around.
Always. I'm always worried, but this is the best I can do. It's projected that we just had our last raid from those undead revenants, and it was the strongest they've ever been. Many were taken up, or many were dragged up to Summerfell, and, well, let's just say our numbers are few and their numbers are very many. Next year, it's not looking like we can hold them back, and it threatens the lives of all those around, especially Shelton, the closest town nearby. That's why it's so urgent that I find a cure to this curse that we're plagued upon.
Well, if we survive this mission, I like the sound of helping you out. If you
Yes.
need it.
Yes, if I can't find a curse, I would much appreciate as much help as I can. I write a magazine talking about the trials and tribulations of current events and just the stories. I have poetry if you'd like to read. I'll give you my magazine. So Bartholomew writes magazines, and he takes them to publishers or to the towns he visits. Hopefully, pretty much just like an old-timey magazine or newspaper, and has everyone in the town read it. Everyone that goes to read them. Has current events, comics, not comics, what am I trying to say? Poetry, and a crossword puzzle on the back. So just little things like that. But
Not a magazine without a crossword.
But yes, he has a lot of poetry talking about his life, where he's from, and because his entire life he's been dealing with zombies coming to his town almost weekly, and then once a year they come in droves. Just the entire force comes in droves. So you would be reading that in his magazine as well, talking about the woes of where he's from, and that's why he's out and venturing, is he's looking for a cure to the curse that plagues his town with these undead zombie hordes, and is also looking to recruit people to defend his town this coming year, since their numbers are dwindling.
Sounds very exciting.
It does indeed.
On that note, maybe this new place we're going to will have more information for you.
Yeah, I do hope so. Yes.
Shall we move on?
I believe we shall.
To the horse. What was its name again?
Alistar.
to Alistair and to delicious Alistair. Off we go.
And he sort of very surprisingly quickly marches out of the guild.
And Alistar is a white horse.
Delicious.
As long as it's not a pale horse, we're fine.
So, I guess we
I
leave
grab
and
my
then
sword and
head out.
off we go.
Yep, ready.
All right, where do you go?
I
Follow
certainly
the
need to
map.
find a dock.
The dock's heading towards an island. I don't know if the island or the town is named McHale, but that's where we're heading.
Okay, so the map has a big island called McHale Island, and then it has a really small island called Karmic Hills.
To the hills.
So Guvo just kind of follows as you two head to the harbor, right? Where all the boats are.
I think he realizes that he's walking alone, then sees the other two walking in the direction. He's like,
To the docks.
Yeah, to there. You arrive at the harbor. There are dozens of wooden docks and hundreds of sailboats, but they're behind a fence, and there's a gruff-looking old man in a gatehouse watching the fence. He looks up from his paperwork at you, peering at you through the window.
I'll approach him.
while that's happening, Guvo's petting Alistar, feeding him carrots.
Good horse, eat up. Get big.
Alistar does appreciate your kindness. Please, you can feed him as much, but don't overfeed him, or else he won't be able to walk.
Oh, of course, don't you worry. I'll take good care of him. Here you go.
Shoving carrots in his mouth.
Bartholomew smiles as his horse is being treated by this frog person, Gladiator. He's being very kind to his horse and not going to eat him.
I promised. I told you. I did promise. I don't break promises.
So yeah, I'll head up to the grumpy-looking old man.
All right. What can I do for you?
Well, hello there, old chap. I am here to talk about purchasing a relatively quick, or not purchasing, renting a quick boat. Someone to hire to take us to Bacalus Island. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
You guys, where are you going? All right. So let me just recommend pen. Write down reason of quest.
Well, the problem is I wrote it. I wrote it
people.
angled.
Let me just remind you guys. All right, I'm going to just read this again. Ready? Help, our sheriff has gone missing, and we're in grave danger. Signed, the town of Karmic Hills.
Karmic Hills. Okay.
Near McHale Island. And then it's a map. And the Karmic Hills are east of the much larger McHale Island and are an itty-bitty island, way too small to be on most maps. Look at you guys actually writing that down this time.
I've written save people.
I wrote Karmic
Don't
Hills
eat
down. I
horse.
forgot to write the island down.
I wrote down McHale, but I didn't know if I thought it was the town, but it's actually the island, and the town we're heading to is Karmic Hills, which is also an island, but it's a town. It's a little confusing, but I've got it.
So yes, a boat to McHale Island, please.
There shall be a bit of money. Arr. All right.
Is he putting on a pirate accent? Just because that's his job?
What assurance do you have that you can pay?
Well, we're going there to get paid. So once we get there, then we'll get paid, and then we'll be able to pay for the boat.
Bums? You have no money to your name? Arr.
Do you take carrots as currency? I have a very nice sandwich. I was saving it for the boat trip, but I'm willing to part with it if it means we can get on the boat.
So we're in Desperado Quickdraw, and we have skills. Do you guys want to do something to change this person's mind? Are you able to pay for your boat? Why should he let you in? Use a skill and roll, and then role play the result. Who wants to do that?
Who's got good?
Did any of us
Did
take
anyone
mental
take
skills?
anything? Yeah.
I mean, bluff, I think, is the only one.
It would
Or
be,
charm.
yeah. Or
Charm and
charm.
bluff. Those
Yeah,
are two. Let's see if I can... does anyone have charm or bluff at more than a D2?
Nope.
No, but I've got a plan. If what you gentlemen are planning doesn't work, I'll try something myself.
Well, I'm gonna play it as humanity. I'm gonna say that McHale Island and Karmic Hills is under attack, and we need to get there ASAP to save them. So is it a D2, just the D4 halved, basically?
Yes.
Okay.
So bluff. Checks. So you're using bluff or charm? What are you doing?
I think charm would probably be the more appropriate one.
Charm. Checks made to convince other creatures. The target's attitude helps determine the DC. If they're helpful, the DC is 2. If they're friendly, the etc. Or these are things you add to your roll. Okay, so this person is pretty neutral, but not opposed at all to your specific request. So I'm going to say that if you get a 3, because you add your wit to this, right? And your wit is how many?
My wit is 2, so...
Okay. I'm going to give you a 50-50 chance. If you get a 4, you pass. If you get a 3, you fail. Let's see that roll result.
Did you say a 4 is a success? Or 3 is a success?
Yeah, because he's adding his wit.
Well, I rolled a 1. So
well, you failed.
That's a 3.
Okay, so this person in the guardhouse responds to your, but they need our help, and says, and some bums off the street are going to help them? How is that going to help them?
Now, hold on just a moment. We're not bums, Alistar.
I do have a
trots
bum.
over towards next to Zidane. We are not bums. We are esteemed gentlemen from the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild. We are going off on an adventure to help these poor people, and they are in desperate need of help. Now, we might be very, very new. This is our first adventure, but we are definitely not bums.
Well, if you're not bums, then surely you could write me an IOU note. And he like scribbles he's got paperwork there. And I could take these to Nulisag for $50 if you're not bums.
Certainly.
And he like hands you a paper to sign.
Oh, yes, definitely.
He's very trusting.
So,
Yes.
Bartholomew takes this note and he takes out his quill pen and ink and starts to... It takes quite a long time to do it, and everyone around must be wondering what's taking so long. But once he's done, he hands it over, and it's this beautifully written and crafted calligraphy IOU back to him and say, Here, good sir. Once we get paid, I'll be sure to contact you personally, and I'll hand you here's my magazine. It's not payment, but it's some good work to read. There's a crossword puzzle on the back, by the way.
You remind me so much of a character I used to play. He was a warlock who would give out pamphlets to try and seduce people to his warlock. That's the only way he could do it, because he just wasn't charming enough. So just read this pamphlet and you'll know everything you need to know.
I'm actually enjoying playing this character.
Yeah, I like it.
It's fun.
He accepts the IOU note for $50 that he can redeem with you or Nulisag later, and is like, yeah, you seem like a fire-breathing kitten to me. All right. And the gate opens.
I think Guvo is going to walk over and go,
Do you do this quite often? Do you make any money? How often do people actually come back and give you their money out?
and he's sort of looking around trying to find a stack of IOUs he's got somewhere, being like, how many haven't fulfilled?
As far as I'm aware, it's just something about being a good person and paying back what is due. And some scoundrels will leave an IOU and never pay back, but I would make sure to pay this gentleman back, even if I would do my best. If I were to perish, I'd make sure one of you gentlemen would take my pay and pay him back. You both seem like very trustworthy gentlemen, so...
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yes, of course.
And has he got like a wall of faces as well of people who owe him money? Do you know what I mean? Like, don't serve these people. It's like an entire wall full of faces. They never paid. I bet you.
No, instead he smiles at you in a very wily way and says, "Oh, I know Nulisag's good for it, but what they do to people who use their name is up to them."
It's a curse. He's cursed you, Bart. You're going to die. Oh, God. Over 50, whatever they are. Oh, this is terrible. We could have swam there. You could have swam with me. Oh, now we're going to die. Oh, this is terrible.
Bartholomew's smiling and saying, "Oh, we needed to get the boat for Alistair. He can't swim too well. He's not a water horse."
He'll be fine. I'll look after him. Make sure to write me in your will. I'll take care of the old boy.
Without thinking in hindsight, he immediately says, I'd be sure to do that, yes. If I had to perish and Alistair were to survive, I would leave him in your hands. You seem like a very trustworthy fellow, and Alistair has taken a liking to you.
Good.
Then he feeds him another carrot.
Good horse.
Must survive.
Good, tasty
Out of character,
horse.
I must survive.
Yes, I do think you need to.
Just free safety.
Wow.
The GM was not putting Alistair the horse's foie gras status on the table as the stakes for this game, but they're there. They're there now.
If Bart dies, Alice has got no chance.
The ground slopes downhill to water, the smell of salt and ocean kelp on the breeze. An old man is looping ropes to secure a small fishing sailboat to a vertical post at one of the wooden docks.
Is he the only person here, or is there another boat?
It's a bit dead round here, isn't it?
There's a lot of boats. There's a lot of boats, and this person is currently looping ropes for their boat.
Did we know which boat we're going to get on? I guess the old man told us.
I guess we just pick.
Pick
we
a
didn't
boat.
tell us which one to get.
Like a taxi service, just like pick one and, you'll get there eventually. Yeah, did he tell us a boat name or anything like that?
Newlisag? No.
You didn't? Okay, so we're just guessing.
This
This is how you get stung. There's no boat. He just sells you an IOU and, expects
he
payment
owes
that
us
no
one
one
boat.
can give. And then there's no boats here. There's just like that. And they're like, oh, I've got an IOU for this boat ticket. They're like, who are you? There's no boat here under that name. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm going to go up to this old man that's coiling up the ropes.
Yeah.
Because he's the person that was described. And I will approach him and go, "Hello, good sir. Do you happen to know of someone with a boat that can hold this horse?" Point behind me.
He looks at the horse. He looks at his boat that he's tying up to the docks. And he's like, for the right price, I could.
What about me? I'm just as big as the horse.
He looks you up and down. It's like 500 pounds.
Probably.
He mutters to himself. 500 pounds? Yeah, I could take you. I mean, and it's a fishing boat. It's a sailboat. It's a fishing boat that he's tying to the dock. It can definitely hold all of you guys. And he looks at his boat and he looks at you guys and he says, what's in it for me?
Haven't we
Money?
already paid the price? I'm confused.
Yeah, that's true. We did.
What
We
do you
paid
want from
$50
this?
to get here.
Do you work for that old man?
I'd do it for $100. I'm free today.
There's a secondary level of ticket pricing. Oh, God, what more do we need to give?
It's like going to an amusement park where you have to pay an upfront fee, and then you have to pay to ride the rides.
Wait a
An entry
moment,
price and a ride price.
I don't think this gentleman works for that man. We're new here. I'm new here to this town. I don't know about these gentlemen, but we're a part of the Fire-Breathing Kittens. We're heading out to an island, and we are in need of a boat. We pay that gentleman behind us, and now we're trying to find out what boat. We see you tying up a boat, and we thought you would be our ferryman.
Oh, I could definitely be your ferryman. Yeah, no, that's Jim Bob, the harbor master. He mans the gate, and I pay him to be able to dock my boat here as well. He just takes money from everybody, doesn't he?
I told you. I bloody told you. He's scamming us. We're going to die terribly. This is not good. I'm already... oh, God. First mission, we're already dead.
I was just curious. So, can we just take any of these boats since we've paid? Or...
Oh, these boats belong to people, and if you don't have a boat, you probably shouldn't be here. But it does appear that you are inside now. So if you would like to rent my time, I'm free today. I'm a fisher. Hello, I am Atticus Birch, and he holds out a hand to you guys.
I'll shake his hand vigorously.
Whoa,
Careful.
whoa, you're so young.
I think you just signed into the blood pact, my friend.
But this is a harbor. We pay to dock our boats here. If you don't have a boat, I'm kind of a chill dude, and you can come out with me. I'll take you to an island if you pay me or make it worth my while. I mean, I could also call the guards and have you kicked out if you upset me. You really shouldn't be here.
Guvo sort of taps the bar and Zidane and be like, I think we should talk. This is just quickly.
Huddle.
This is a bit of a problem.
Group huddle time.
You guys, in real life, you've never been in a harbor, so let me describe
I've
real
been
life.
in
I've
harbors.
been in loads.
Yeah, they pay to dock their boats there, and then there's usually a gate to keep people out from the boat.
So essentially, when we asked if we could get on a boat, what we actually paid for was entry into the docks.
Yeah.
Right. So
we bribed him. That's what we did.
Well, you say we bribed him. I think he's bribed us for more than we've bargained for. And now we've got to pay even more money we don't have to do more favors for someone we don't know. This is
Or do other things. This is an adventure. You've got like 10 different
I will
options
never
here.
sell my body for anybody.
Whoa.
No one gets these lady lumps.
But how would you make a friend? Like, let's say you're in real life in a harbor. I've done it in real life by having food. That's how I've gotten on a boat.
I've tried the food. They weren't interested.
Well, the other guy wasn't, but this guy might be. Well, sir, we can at least give you lunch for the passage on the way to McHale Island to go to Karmic Hills. I have this delicious Reuben sandwich.
Wait. Did you say? Okay, that looks very good. And I mean, I could do some company on my. I gotta go fish anyway. I might as well go where you're going. But did you say Karmic Hills?
Yes,
By Jiminy, why would you want to go there? That island's cursed.
to go save the people from the curse.
Curse? What is the curse?
More curses.
Do you have like a death wish or something? Why would normal people go to a cursed island to help? Okay, wow, you seem like really good people.
Oh, hold on a minute. Don't,
What do you mean, good people?
What do you mean, people?
Good. What do you mean, good? What do you mean, people?
What do you mean, boat?
We are good people.
Please tell us a little bit about this curse.
Well, it's said that if you go there, I mean, it's called the Karmic Hills, and if you go there, maybe you get what's coming to you.
Karma.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm no saint, so I'm afraid I can't step foot on the Karmic Hills. I mean, I could maybe like pull up to it and you guys can hop off, but and he shivers.
I think we're screwed.
What do you mean you have bad karma? You're warning us of an island, you're concerned for our safety and your own. I'd say you're a good, fine gentleman, living a humble life as a fisherman.
Unless you do embezzlement, then that kind of negates the good karma.
I can't really embezzle fish.
To the right
But you
person,
can't
you
eat
could.
them.
You guys both talked at the same time and I have no idea what you
Sorry.
said.
Go ahead.
No.
I just said that's fair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is there a way to embezzle fish?
With me, you
Seems
could.
interested.
So,
Well, I mean, we can always hop off. You can get us close to the island, and then we can just kind of, dog paddle our way the rest of the way there.
All right. Yeah, come on aboard, and I'll be taking that. And he accepts the sandwich.
He takes my sandwich.
Guvo makes sure to hide his, so he doesn't see it, being like, I haven't got one. Pushes it down further just in case he wants 2 sandwiches.
And $100 if I get you back safely. Does that sound fair?
That sounds perfectly
Yes,
reasonable.
that's reasonable.
And he heads out for his fishing day.
He just laughed.
Up
don't trust
a
him.
Reuben and $100. He's got to go fish anyway. So, all right, hop on board.
Cool.
Yep, we do.
Get on.
All right, hop on.
I hop on. I'll try to at least.
All right. Okay, you're in the boat. You're heading out. It's a sailboat. The breeze catches the canvas and pulls you out of the harbor and into the open water. You're on the water. This is kind of fun. You're on a boat.
Mhm.
All right. It's winter, though. The wind is kind of cold, and the water is even colder. Even here on the ocean, the sun sets early, and it is actually growing dark. Like, dude, this is not fair. It is still day. Come on, really? Really, sun? Anyway. So you're chilling, and the sun is slowly setting, and time is passing slowly. It's just you guys, the boat, the water, the wind, and the sky. Atticus, the guy who introduced himself as Atticus, that old man who owns this sailboat, starts looking up at the sky, checking for stars to navigate with, not talking, munching on his Reuben sandwich. Since we're here in this boat, everybody, let's pass the time with a quick game of poker. Desperado Quickdraw uses a hand of poker to determine turn order in combat. The player with the lowest rank hand of poker goes first, and the highest rank poker hand goes last. But people who can go later can do what's called an interruption if they want to act earlier. Everyone, we are using deckofcards.net to deal you all 7 cards. The hand rankings are on page 5 in the rulebook, and as you aim for one hand or another, you're welcome to return as many cards from your hand into the discard pile as you want, but only once. So it's single card draw, single card discard. And then after you've discarded, you'll draw new cards. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I explained that right. But anyway, you draw 7 cards, you discard as many as you want, and then you draw back up to 7. So let's use deckofcards.net. I'm going to pull it up right now, and I'll send you guys a link.
We use jokers in this game, don't we, as well?
Yes, there are 2 jokers, and I'm setting it to one deck, 4 players, 7 to deal to each player's 2 jokers. And it's actually really cool how this website works. I encourage everybody at home to use this website. You just copy the URL, and then everybody, I'm going to send this URL in the chat. And if you could please click on that and join one of the empty seats. I would also like to point out that when you discard, so you can click on the card in your hand to turn it like face down, and then you can drag it over on the screen to the discard pile. So don't discard a face-up card, discard a face-down card, just to make this a little bit less dependent on... Because in real life, you'd all discard at the same time. Like, you'd put the cards that you're going to discard, like, in front of you. So just don't use the information of what cards they're discarding to influence which cards you discarded. So let me know when you guys are in.
It's saying it can't find the game. It says, we're sorry you can't find the game you're looking for. It may have been deleted, or the pin you entered is incorrect.
Really? Okay, I'm going to create a new game because that game is indeed messed up. Second game. Hopefully that works.
Same error.
Really?
Yeah, error. Can't find the game.
Okay, well, I'll deal you guys in. I will share my screen, and I'll have each of you take off your headphones. I'll just do it one at a time. So I'll do one at a time. Let's see. Who wants to go first? Let's have Zidane go first. Everyone else take your headphones off, and I'll start sharing my screen. All right. This is your hand, Zidane. We're going to refresh. Oh my gosh. This is your hand. Which ones would you like to discard? So let's read those since the audience can't see this. It's an 8 of diamonds, an ace of hearts, a 9 of clubs, a joker, a 5 of hearts, an ace of diamonds, and a 2 of hearts. Which ones do you want to discard?
Let's get rid. So I've already got 4. Do I have a straight going on here? No, I don't have the signs of a straight. I'm closer to a flush, though. Let's get rid of the diamonds and the club.
The diamonds? So the 8 of diamonds and the ace of diamonds?
No, not the ace of diamonds, my bad. Because that's, I need that because I have a 3 of a kind right now. So get rid of that for sure.
Okay. I got rid of the 8 of diamonds and the 9 of clubs and...
Yep. I think that should be fine. I'll just leave this where I've got it.
Okay. You've got 2 aces, a joker, a 5, and a 2?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to draw you 2 cards. You got an 8 of spades and a 4 of diamonds, which means that your hand is a 3 of a kind.
Yep.
Right?
So I have a 3 of a kind.
Okay. I'm going to take a picture of that. This worked out so well. All right. And then go ahead and take your headphones off. Guvo, you're paying attention, so you're next.
Hello.
You can keep your headphones on, just don't talk. You keep your headphones off. Bartholomew, you haven't gone yet. Okay. Guvo, This is your hand. Which ones are you going to keep?
I'm trying to make a good spread, aren't I? Probably keep the 10 jack ace, and hopefully I can draw a...
Oh, we should say these for our audience. You have an ace of diamonds, a 3 of hearts, a 3 of diamonds, a 5 of diamonds, a 10 of clubs, a 3 of spades, and a jack of spades.
I want to get I'm on the close to a straight. Maybe I'd probably keep the 10, the jack, the ace, hope for a queen and a king, which is pretty low. I'll probably just get rid of the 5 and the 3. Oh, there's 3 threes. I'll probably get rid of the 5, and I'm going to risk it and get rid of the ace.
So you're getting rid of the 5 of diamonds and the ace of diamonds, leaving yourself with 3 threes, a 10 of clubs, and a jack of spades?
Yeah. So I might get a full house.
Okay. I'm going to draw you 2 cards.
Nope.
You got a 7 of hearts and an ace of clubs.
Duh.
And so you're at 3 of a kind.
Yeah.
Right?
It's pretty good.
It's 3 of a kind. Okay. All right. I'm going to now wave our last. Oh, I'm going to refresh the screen. Okay. Everyone else keep your headphones on. All right. So just Bartholomew, you're our last person. Here is your hand.
Mm-hmm.
You have a 3 of spades, an ace of clubs, a 9 of hearts, a 6 of diamonds, a 7 of clubs, a jack of diamonds, and a 10 of diamonds. Which ones would you like to keep?
Let's see. I'd like to keep... Well, I'm going to say which ones I'm going to discard. I'm going to discard the 3 of spades and... Let's see. And I'll discard the 6 of diamonds. Yep. That'll work.
So you're keeping the ace of clubs, the 9 of hearts, the 7 of clubs, the jack of diamonds, and the 10 of diamonds?
Yes.
What are you aiming for?
Same question.
Yeah, it's a pretty bad hand. I can draw 2 more, right?
Yeah.
You might as well ditch that
Sure.
7.
I'm just curious what you're aiming for.
High numbers and... Yeah, I'm just aiming for higher numbers right now. Get rid of the lowest ones.
Okay, I will draw you.
Ooh.
You got a 10 and an ace, so you have 2 pair.
Yep, 2 aces, 2 10s.
Okay.
And I'll drop the...
Oh, no, that's it. It's just single.
I have a 9, 10, and... Wait. 9, 10, and jack.
2 pair is ranked below 3 of a kind, so you are currently the lowest ranked person. So everyone, I'll share. Oh, I should do mine now. I will do my hand. All right, so I'm drawing for myself. I immediately drew 3 of a kind, apparently. Oh, I immediately drew a full house.
Wow.
You guys all saw that.
Just leave it. Just leave it alone.
So I just
you don't
drew
need to do anything.
2 aces, 2 queens, a joker, a 7 of clubs, and a 4 of spades. So I'm going to throw out the 4 of spades and the 7 of clubs.
You draw
I'm
it.
going to draw. It doesn't matter because I have a full house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's a point for listeners that the Joker is a wild card. It can be anything in this.
Yeah. I just want you guys to know that I legit did math before the game. So I calculated that here was my rank priority. If I drew 2 pairs, I would have gone for a full house with a 70-ish%. Right? And if I then, that was my optimum situation. 1, check for 2 pairs and go for a full house with a 70-ish%. 2, if I have an open-ended straight, go for that with a 60-ish% chance. And 3, if I have 3 of a suit, go for a flush with a 50-ish% chance. So I ranked, I did fully 2 hours of probability math and card ranking to try to be my strategy. But here's why I personally hate games of chance, because I just drew a freaking full house. Oh my
Reminds me
god!
of the time I top decked Exodia.
Yeah, what the heck just happened?
Can I shuffle your
All right,
deck?
so this-
No. It's perfectly
He
shuffled
did. That was
already.
the thing. He shuffled
Thank
it, and I
you.
top decked Exodia.
Games of chance are my least favorite games because I just I didn't get to play it all. I calculated all those probabilities and I just drew. I'm upset even though I won.
It's the way you won. That's the problem.
Okay, so let's talk about turn orders. Zidane had 3 aces, so that means that you go after me with just drawing a full house. I'm
Yeah.
still bitter about that. Guvo had 3 threes, so that means you go after Zidane. And Bartholomew had 2 pair, so that means you go last in the initiative. And that is how the cookie crumbled. You guys all played cards on the boat. Y'all played poker on the boat. Yay.
What did Alistair get?
Alistair
Why can't he
just
play?
is on my initiative. We are 1.
We are one being.
It's winter. The wind is cold, the water colder. Even here on the ocean, the sun sets early, and it has now become fully dark. Far off in the distance, the flat black of the horizon rises up unevenly in one spot into the sky. The stars are blotted out by this darkness that rises taller and taller as you get closer. A cloud rolls in and reflects light. It's then that it becomes obvious to any observer. The island you're able to see, because you're this distance out to sea, is silhouetted, light glowing behind it.
Oh, lovely. How far away are we from the shore again?
You could swim there.
Let's go, Alistair.
How
And the
deep?
others.
This water is way too cold for me and Alistair.
I could get closer if you'd like.
That would be preferable.
Please do, Atticus.
Did Guvo hop out?
No. He was prepared to.
Not yet.
He sort of was like going to grab everyone under his arm and just dive into the water. But no, okay.
Okay, you're closer to the island.
Let's go.
Are you approaching the side that you're approaching, or like what's going on? Where are you going?
Is there a dock?
That's what I'm saying.
No.
It's in character. There's no dock. It's like wild island. Great. Let's go.
Okay. Guvo hops out.
Woo! Splosh. It's like it's like a gushing, like a volcano as the water bushes up as he's in, belly
You
flopping
cannonballed
into it. Yeah, basically.
Bartholomew gets splashed by some of the cold. Like, oh, that's cold.
Come on, it's
Well,
lovely.
good. I'm sure it is.
Zidane is currently on the front of the boat, like Captain Morgan posing on the front, waiting for you to at least see a little bit of sand before he jumps out under the water, even though it's dark. So,
Yeah, I can get closer. I don't want the current to sweep you away. And he gets like pretty close to the island.
yeah, I'll hop out once he gets a little bit more beachy.
Yeah.
Alistair slowly steps out and kind of whinnies from the cold of the water, but it just goes up to its ankles. All right, Alistair, wise up. We'll be on shore in no time.
See you in 3 days.
3 days?
Let's say noon when it's less creepy.
Toodaloo!
What? Where are you? 3 days? When did you tell us that before? So we're
Nope.
stuck on this island for 3 days? Oh, God, what if it's terrible?
Yep. It's probably going to be really bad here, but, it's all fine. It's all fine and dandy.
I was actually worried it's going to be really boring. Stuck here for 3 days with no food because we bought those sandwiches.
We could easily go hunting and gathering. It's no big deal. Well, actually, I'm sure there's some kind of wildlife on this island.
Let's hope so. We don't have to resort to eating Alistair. That would be the worst thing to happen.
Is that
Indeed.
just your default response is to make a horse stew every time you think about the prospect of
Character
going hungry?
development. Take what you got and use it. So we're on a beach then. Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there any sign
And
of
it's
life?
night.
That
There's
there's any fires or any like noticeable lights coming from anywhere on the island?
There's no sign of life. The moon shines down upon the sand. It is completely undisturbed sand. Like the wave has pushed it flat, And there's a jungle with lots of trees and thick vegetation uphill from you on the island. It's a pretty small island. And now that you're close up, you can't, because you're not at a distance anymore, you can't see that anything's silhouetted. Like there's no light.
Right.
And for clarification, this island is the Karmic Hills island, the smaller one, correct?
Yeah. Atticus knew how to read your map. I
see.
assume you showed him the map.
No.
That
Go
would
that
sound
way.
somewhere random.
Well, I would hope so. Otherwise, he's just, as another person, just scammed us into taking us somewhere we believe is the right place, but we have no idea.
It's an adventure.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Do you gentlemen want to camp for tonight? I've got my tent. I can set it up.
What about food? I'm so hungry.
Well, we are by the ocean. Do you know how to fish, Guvo?
No,
I would love to.
I could go into the jungle and try and catch something, maybe, with a little help.
I've never gone fishing. I'm very skilled at hunting. I could do that.
Ah, Bart, you are the
Hunting
man
and
then.
gathering.
Come with me. Let's kill something.
Indeed.
What
Well,
about you, Zidane? You must be
very-
good with a blade or a
Yes,
thing.
I do know how to fight. If we come across large game, I can provide assistance in slaying it.
Perfect. Onward
yes.
to the food.
Describe what you do.
Well, I'm trusting Bart to know what he does because Guvo has no idea what he's doing. He's never hunted for food in his life. He's like an office guy, you know what I mean? When you work in an arena, everything's brought to you. You don't have to get food. It's like, what do you want for dinner? I'll have this, please.
So,
Well,
what are we doing, Bart?
I lead the way with, riding on Alistar, and we are heading into the forest. I've got my musket out, ready to shoot at any wild game, boars, bears, whatever we come across,
Perfect.
whatever's on this island.
Bacon.
The jungle
know.
is very dense, very thick vegetation until you arrive at a clearing pretty quickly. Let's roll for anything you might have shot at in between the jungle and the clearing. You killed a ground pheasant.
Chicken.
Oh, yes. Very common where I'm from. Let's see, it's common on this island as well. Yes, we'll eat good tonight.
And you said ground pheasant.
Yeah, like a kiwi bird.
Are there sky pheasants?
Yeah, they fly. Pheasants fly, right? Do pheasants fly?
I don't know.
This one
Believe
doesn't.
so.
I've only ever seen them running around, getting run over. That's it.
Chicken tasty. Boil it. Put it in a stew. Yummy.
Guvo starts like tearing the feathers off haphazardly.
So we're at this clearing while we were going around hunting.
Yes. 30-foot tall sharpened tree trunks form a perimeter fence.
Mm.
Now, this seems ominous.
And there is a massive gate.
This massive gate around this clearing here, do we know what is it surrounding a town? Is it surrounding a clearing?
It's 30-foot tall, trees sharpened at the top, and
Oh, we
they're
can't
50 feet away from the trees, and that's what the clearing is. The clearing is a gap between the perimeter fence and the trees.
Oh, so the clearing is between us and the fence, and it's 30 feet high, so we can't actually see inside.
Correct?
Anyone seeing King Kong?
Okay.
I mean, I've seen the original one,
Yeah, exactly.
but
If I were to hazard a guess, this would be the town, and this is their gate, protecting them from outside forces. Perhaps the curse, if the curse is with the Karmic Isles, to where you are dealt karma for who you are, and whatever the Atticus was talking about.
Let's try and find someone to let us in then. We are here to help after all.
yes. That
Yes.
seems like an excellent plan.
Describe what you do.
I start taking Alistar around the perimeter of the gate, looking for an entrance window, something to get in.
There is a gate. So a gate is a part of a fence that opens. So there is a gate.
Is there anyone standing outside? Is there like guards outside of it? I'm guessing not.
Are you in the clearing?
Well, I guess I imagine, as Bart was just saying, that we've gone to search. So I imagine we're walking
we'd be
carefully
walking
towards
towards
the
the
gate. Obviously thinking, this is clearly the only way in that we can see, so we might as well try out. Looking for, because I know it's dark, looking for any guards that may be standing out, posted outside. Makes the most sense.
I could make a check to search.
You don't have to. It's all
Okay.
good. When you walk into the clearing. So how role-playing games for me work is you guys describe what you do, and you can describe your goals, and I use what you did and your goals, so I just wanted to know where you were.
Not like
You are walking into the clearing, and you are looking out.
exit.
Yes.
Who goes there? A woman with blonde hair and tan skin peers at you from over the sharpened tree logs of the perimeter fence at the gate.
Friends, we've come to help you.
Why should I believe you?
Good point.
We're with the fire-breathing kittens, and we have tattoos to prove it, gentlemen. And
Release the tattoos.
so I take off my shirt and show on my shoulder my fire-breathing kittens tattoo.
Yeah, Gubo's going to roll up his sleeves.
Oh, yeah, I have to get completely
Give it a moment. He's got to get
You see
naked.
the huge fire-breathing kittens tattoo on his back, mixed in with the ones he already had.
We've been hired to help you. We believe that you're missing someone very important.
Hey everyone, it's the fire-breathing kittens! She turns and shouts behind her. She disappears from view, and a moment later, the gate creaks, and opens.
Ah, brilliant. Maybe we can get this pheasant cooked.
Yes, and we won't have to go camping.
Hooray!
Yes.
A crowd of people awaits you. The crowd of people is standing inside the perimeter fence.
Brilliant. Is there many people?
15.
Not many. Okay. What do they look like? They look like, there's a female guard. So is it, burly looking men, or is it sort of older people? What's the sort of demographic?
They range from very old to child, and there are a lot of adults. And are you guys entering? Or are you standing outside?
I'm entering.
Yeah, we'll definitely go in.
I'm entering.
Yeah.
I'm buttoning my shirt back.
Putting your trousers back on.
Oh yeah, I already did
back
that. I did that very quickly once they realized who we were. Not very much for one to expose my body to, especially to a woman, but I had no choice. I had to prove myself. Zidane, you looked like you were ready to show this woman your body.
It was basically
I'm always ready.
The crowd presses close around you. Curious. A distinct odor of rot and decay fills your nose. This village smells bad.
Gross.
I've smelled worse.
True. Yeah, I can imagine.
The guard, tucking her hand behind her back awkwardly, says, "Welcome to the island of Karmic Hills. I'm Hazel Thabet. I was on watch duty, and this is Scarlet, the current head of the council." An older woman with white hair, tan skin, and brown eyes walks slowly towards you, the crowd parting around her. Her right hand is blackened, swollen, puffy, crusted, and flaking apart. Don't worry, she doesn't hold it out for you to shake.
You appear quite ill. Is everybody okay here?
No, we're not. My hand has become undead. Hazel, show them your pinky finger, she commands the guard. Boy, show your foot, she says to a child. And they show you, and her pinky finger, the guard's, is gross. And so is the boy's foot.
Oh, you can put them away. That's enough. I get the point.
We need your help, fire-breathing kittens. Our Karmic Hills town people have limbs that have become undead. A zombie arm, a zombie leg. It's getting worse and worse.
Oh, look. Is this what you would just experience, Bart? Have you seen this before?
Oh. Not like this. This is a different curse. I have had to fight off even my family members as undead in skirmishes throughout the past couple of years, including my father.
Your life just gets sadder and sadder every time you talk about it.
He died defending our hometown. He was dragged by the revenants up to Summerfell, and he came back a revenant himself. They keep coming back. Even our descendants are still fighting against us. But this is its own type of curse. How long has this been plaguing your town?
I'm very sorry to hear about your father, says Scarlet. And she, chokes back a sob. And she says, it's a recent thing. Just within the past few weeks. It started small, and then it has become worse and worse. And then she, hobbles over to you and puts a hand on your shoulder, Bartholomew. And you guys, share a moment.
Mm-hmm. It's... To say, I appreciate your sentiment, but the horrors I have experienced as my whole life since I was born for the past 100 years, and our town is about to be overrun this year, and it pains me to see that you are plagued by a curse that has just started. I can't let this happen to you. It is the curse that has plagued my town it is all I know is a part of my life, and I can see that this curse that affects your town affects you very greatly. I would hate to see your descendants of your town be affected by something like this, and it be all you know. So, whatever it takes, I'll make sure I'll do what I can to help.
Thank you, fire-breathing kittens. I have a plan. Here's what I want you to do. our limbs are turning dead, you see, right?
Yes.
And then we're turning undead. So here's the plan. We hired you to solve death, because if we never die, then we could never turn undead. You solve death, and you fix it. The old woman clutches her good fist in the air. And do it quick. We don't have much time. Here, start tomorrow. Hazel, show them to their rooms. They'll need to rest well.
Wait a minute. So, you want us to discover immortality in a day?
We paid you all of our savings as a town. I'm sure you can do it. You're our last hope.
Wow.
Hazel. And Hazel comes over. She's being helpful. She'd be like, would you all like to go to your guest rooms? I prepared a place for you to sleep.
Guvo's going to sort of take a very subtle step back and then sort of look at whoever's, either Bart or Zidane, whoever's closest to him, and sort of give them the eye, be like,
I think we've bitten off more with than we can chew. I don't think I'm much of a spellmaster, and I don't think any of us are. I think we should just leave them alone and let them die. I mean, how are we going to... has anybody actually ever solved immortality? This sounds a bit ridiculous.
Bartholomew recognizes this as, yes, it seems he was very touched, but he's coming back to, and he's realizing something doesn't seem right, and he has an idea. We do appreciate your kindness and offering of a room, but if we need to solve immortality, it can't be within these walls. We need to get this done immediately. I'll tell you what, as much as I appreciate your hospitality, and I look over at Zidane and Guvo with kind of like a wink, like I know I'm doing. We've all decided, we've already set up camp outside, and we're going to be searching outside the camp for your sake. We do appreciate your offering.
I've got a pheasant to cook.
I see. Yes, I see. There's no problem with cooking it here and taking it with us.
Oh, no. We've got a lovely fire already waiting for us elsewhere. Remember?
Yes, we set up camp before we came here.
Oh,
The
yes,
thing you
yes,
just
yes.
said.
Suit yourself, says the old lady, but you'd better get the job done quick.
We're of course. Here, take this, and he hands her a magazine. You'll enjoy reading this. I'm sure he'll bring a sparkle to your eye, and it'll test your wits as well, for there's a crossword puzzle on the backside.
Okay, she accepts your pamphlet, and you guys are leaving the town, right?
yes.
We're going to set up camp now. As soon as
The gate closes behind you.
I think that was a trap.
I think so as well.
Yes. I don't know how, normally when you defeat things, you just stab them until they stop moving, but...
And get a round of
problem
applause.
Yes. But not in this case.
I was about to be bewitched by their story and how it relates to my own, but something doesn't seem right. They're turning undead, and as soon as we accepted it, and they were just solve our lives, make us immortal, and stay here for a night.
Also,
they were waiting for us.
Also, they didn't mention
to cut out our
anything
livers.
about a sheriff. That
Yes,
was their
let's set
actual
up camp
problem.
Yes.
Let's set up camp, and I'll keep watch for the night. Got a lot on my mind, and that beautiful scenery on our way here during our poker game was very interesting. Thank you for teaching me how to play poker, Zidane. It was very...
Oh, yes, I enjoy teaching people how to play the games of chance.
Yes, it was very fun, and it was a beautiful sight. It's inspired me to write more poetry. But yes, I'll keep watch tonight, and you gentlemen can sleep and keep yourselves warm. Guvo, I'm sure if you snuggle next to Alistair, he'll keep you warm. And he seems to be very close friends with you now.
Of course. I've still got to cook this pheasant. So I'll do that and make sure everyone has a nice dinner.
Where are you guys setting up camp?
On the beach, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say let's go back to
That's
the
where we
beach.
landed, yeah.
As far away from this place
yeah.
as
Beautiful
possible.
place. It'll be nice because I'm pretty sure the sun's going to rise on the side we're on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, you guys are on the beach. Bartholomew, you take 1 grit damage because you kept watch all night. So reduce your grit by 1.
Got it.
You're exhausted. Your attacks tomorrow, let's say your first shot is at disadvantage. Double your distance. You can't just stay up all night. Like you're human, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can't just stay up all night. All right. I mean, you can, but there's got to be some sort of consequence. So, okay. You make it through the night. Guvo, that pheasant was not enough food. You're starving.
Definitely.
And Zidane, what are you up to? It's the next morning.
Well, yeah, I mean, the pheasant also still, I mean, I lost my lunch, so I actually have only eaten that pheasant. So I probably would actually, as soon as I wake up, I would take a look at the water, the ocean, and try and see if I can't catch a fish or two to get cooked up and make that a nice breakfast for everyone.
What tools do you have to catch fish?
All I have is a sword, but I can use that to sharpen a stick and make a spear.
Okay, you spend the first hour sharpening a stick and making a spear. You had to go get the stick and you had to sharpen it, and all right, let's have you roll a d6, and if you get a 5 or a 6, you catch a fish.
Whoa.
It's like the only die I don't have in front of me. There we go. I got a 5.
Hey.
You caught a fish.
Hooray.
Hooray!
What type of fish?
And we'll bring that back to camp, and I guess we'll restart our fire. Like if you kept the fire burning all night, then roast up some fish.
Bartholomew is you can see his eyes are bloodshot. He's staring into the fire, even as the sun's rising, thinking about his home. He's delirious. He's tired. He's a bit peckish, but he sees Guvo next to Alistar drooling. He's kind of staring. He goes over with his Reuben sandwich that he still hasn't eaten and said, "You can have this one. I wish not to see you."
Thank you. You're a good friend.
In this, yes, I just swallows it whole.
There's something burning inside of me, something ancient. I've never felt this before, but...
And he starts wandering into the jungle. And there's something sort of instinctual happening in his mind. He's never really experienced before, except for when he was a little nipper. He's going to try and hunt insects. Because obviously he's a frog. So he can catch things with his tongue. His big, long tongue. So he's going to try and blend into the jungle floor, basically, and even like try and attempt to climb trees. He can't, but he's going to attempt to. And then just start trying to catch insects with his tongue, just to try and fulfill, just to get him a little bit less hungry. And he'll try and bring some back with him as well.
What's your skill and spot?
It's a D2.
All right, roll your D2. If you get a 2, you spot an insect, and if you get a 1, you don't.
Okie dokie. I rolled a 4.
All right, that's a 2, right?
Yeah.
D4 divided
Sorry, yeah.
by... Right.
It's like, because I'm rolling a 4, I'm looking at 4. Yeah, it's a 2.
You spot an insect.
Yes! How big of an insect?
Abnormally large butterfly.
Starts eating it.
Roll your... Well, let's see if you get it. Roll your ranged aim DC. This is 6 yards from you.
Okay, so my melee aim, I guess it's melee. Or is it firearm melee, do you reckon? Did you say?
Your tongue is probably your ranged. Use your firearm DC.
Yeah, firearm. I get a boost. So I've got, close range combatant is a feat of mine. So I can increase my aim check with melee weapons. It's the same thing.
This is not a melee weapon. It is 6 yards away from you. This is a ranged attack. I assume your tongue, right? That's how you said you were hunting?
Yes.
Yeah. The butterfly is over there. You see it.
Okey-doke.
Are you walking over to it? And then you can use your melee, but you'd also have to roll your hide check or else you'd startle it away.
No, I'll do the 2d12.
Okay.
So I got, great, 13 and a 1. So 14 overall.
Did you say a 13 on a D12?
No, sorry. Together it's 13. Ugh. Stupid.
Okay. So we're going to subtract the distance modifier, which is 4. So what's 13 minus 4 is 9.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And any extra above 0 adds to your wound DC. Your tongue probably only does 1 wound, but that's probably all the HP of a butterfly,
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
honestly. So let me roll their fortitude check, which is a grit number of DCs, or a grit number of D12s. Oh, okay. So we got an 8. And what number did you have?
9.
A 9? Oh, okay. So that means that it failed and it takes 1 wound.
Cool.
Yeah. So you get that butterfly.
Yeah. Was it tasty?
No.
Oh.
It's mostly wing.
Mostly wing. It did have a body.
Yeah. Crunchy?
Nice. That's good.
Well, after that's happening, I'm going to notice that Bart is just staring unceasingly into the fire. I'm going to like wave my hand in front of his face and like, Bart, are you in there?
Oh, good morning. Wow, he notices that you've got a lot of facial hair. I just imagine everyone when they woke up, it just became feral. Well, I've been awake. Like my eyes are bloodshot. Guvo has gone completely
Native.
wild frog, hunting wild insects like a normal frog. And Zidane has grown like it's not even a 5 o'clock shadow anymore. It's
Yeah,
like
I
a
got the
10
full
o'clock
beard
shadow.
going now.
It's got it's like a got a scraggly full beard going.
Love
With that, just we're all going feral and wild just one night on this island.
that. Yep.
Bart, are you doing okay? You seem to be a bit on the distracted side of things.
I'm a bit on edge. It's nothing. It's being away from home, being in a new area, and thinking on some horrid things. But it's fine. I know what I must do, and it's good for me to get out. Actually. So what is your story? Where are you from?
I'm from Nikamui originally, but I got locked in a temporal stasis for 200 years until my good friend Kane, my new friend Kane, rescued me from the stasis. And but the force of getting me out of the temporal lock or whatever, I don't remember a lot of my past. I remember I was a gladiator fighter, and that's pretty much it. And I remember my father. I remember my bits of my childhood, but for the most part, I don't really know who I was, other than the gladiator bits.
Huh. Very interesting. So you came from times long past and wound up here?
Yes.
That's pretty incredible. I wonder, how many years ago was it? Do you know?
200.
Oh, that's longer. That's before even the founding. Bartholomew was thinking, he's got this bloodshot eyes, his eyes look a bit. Do you know about any of the nobles that lived and do you know about Summerfell Estate?
No.
No. I had a hunch that maybe someone from days long past would know about Summerfell Estate.
I mean, I probably do. I just don't have access to it currently. It's locked away somewhere.
I see. So if you were to unlock your memories, you might know something.
Possibly.
Well, Zidane, I'll tell you what. I'll do my best to help you with your endeavors, and it'll help me with mine.
It sounds like an excellent plan. Are you going to be okay? Because I think we need to go check and see if that weird fortified little weird half zombie village is still there.
Yes, we'll need to go check in on that. Yes, but
I need to find Guvo, wherever that insatiable appetite on legs went.
I'll be honest. I've had some nights like this before with the shrieks of the undead coming from Summerfell Estate, but this is something different. This is just the paranoia, the thoughts and worry about home and the town that we are here to rescue. Just everything on my mind. I haven't been able to sleep. But
it's understandable. But listen, let's go see if we can find Guvo, and then we will go back to this terrifying little village and see if it's still present. And if it is, we'll need to avoid it and give it a nice wide berth. And if it is not there, well, then guess we just have to wing it and see what happens. But let's go find Guvo.
Yes, let's go find our friend Guvo.
One of you guys flip a coin?
I will. Or
I actually have coins in my pocket.
Hey.
go ahead.
All right. I'm going to back up. Tails.
You do not find Guvo.
Oh, no.
I'm too blended into the bush. Hunting.
You're crunching them butterflies.
Bartholomew is a bit delirious. He finds a frog. Are you Guvo? No.
Ribbit.
Are you Guvo?
Ribbit.
But these frogs are far too small.
So because you're unable to find Guvo, that means that 4 hours pass. Where did you guys end up?
I probably would have said, I think our best bet would have been to at least like go in the direction, because maybe Guvo went to go look at the weird, creepy village on his own too. You know, it's a logical thing. It weirded us all out last night, so slowly have made our way that direction.
Oh, you're at the village. Okay. The clearing? That?
Yeah, the clearing. Yeah, I would not. I'm not going back over that gate.
Okay, the gate's open and they're taking a wheelbarrow into the gate. It looks like they're carrying a large stone. It's the guard from last night, and she's wheeling a wheelbarrow with a large black slate stone.
GM, I'd like to make a search check, or I don't know if I need to make a check, but I'm checking to see because that's Hazel, correct?
Yeah, you don't need to roll anything. That is Hazel, the guard from last night, and she is rolling a wheelbarrow. The gate's open, and she's rolling a wheelbarrow into the town with a large black stone on it, a flat stone.
I'm not sure if I'd need to make a check. I'm looking to see if that disease that was on her finger has gotten worse or spread. Would I need to make a check? Would that be obvious?
No, you don't need to make a check. It's 2 fingers now. It was her pinky, and now it's her pinky and her ring finger.
It's 2 fingers. It's been getting worse. I see. Yes. And I make that. Zidane, do you see her fingers over there? It's spreading on her hand.
It is. So at least they were telling the truth there.
Yes, but
unless it's adding to the lie.
Yes, this is quite the conspiracy. And what is with that stone?
I don't know. Maybe
why would they need it?
It's an excellent question. My guess would be either it is some kind of warding stone, maybe. Maybe it's expended its energy, and they're going to replace it with a new one.
You know, we need to go find Guvo, get a third head on this situation.
Yes, we should.
It's a flat stone, about 2 feet tall, maybe a foot wide, and totally thin, like 4 inches thick. And it's round. It's rounded at the top. It's like a rectangle with a rounded end.
Yeah. Yes, I think yes, we need to get Guvo in with this, and then we can see what he thinks of the situation.
Guvo, flip a coin.
Okie dokie. I don't have a coin. Can you flip it for me, please, Zidane?
I still have my
Flip
quarter.
for me, mate.
It's still tails. Is this quarter weighted?
Guvo, tell me what you're up to, but you did not return to the village. Where are you?
I guess he's just still hunting. It's that insatiable hunger he's trying to, like Bart was saying, you know, he's gone native. So there's something about this island that is just like bringing him back to like an ancient time he's never experienced before, being in this jungle. So it's like ancestral memory. Whoa. Do you know what I mean?
The sun sets with you eating a bunch of bugs.
Yum.
You guys, the sun is setting or sometime. So I'm just going to let you know that you're not going to encounter Guvo, at least for another 5 hours. What are you doing? Are you talking to the villagers? Tell me what you're doing.
Well, if we can't find Guvo, we probably do need to talk to them. I don't want to, but...
Yeah, get some information.
But Guvo, your fullness status is that you're very full.
Yes. I would say just continue on.
Well, the sun is setting. I'm pretty sure if we go back to camp, we can get with Guvo. And if we want to talk to the village... How long does it take to go from the camp, like where we've set, to the village? About how long?
10 minutes.
10 minutes? Oh, that's
easy.
So what we could do is go back to the camp and wait for Guvo to return. I'm pretty sure he'll return back to the camp. If we haven't seen him come by the village at all, we can go back to the camp and wait for him to come. And then we can, come together and work on a plan to deal with the villagers and deal with this curse.
I'm going to ask about the sheriff, because we didn't even ask that last time we were there.
Oh, yes. But I would say let's bring Guvo with us.
I agree. But yes, hopefully he finds his way back to us. And we should probably take turns keeping watch. You probably shouldn't keep the watch to yourself. That was
Right.
admittedly very selfish of us to let you take the whole watch on your own.
Think nothing of it.
Guvo, you're so full. What are you doing?
Well, he's full. He's heading back. That's all he really needed to sort out. Do you know what I mean? Once his hunger's been satiated, he would definitely head back. That's all he, like I said, that's what he needed to do. Eat.
You're back.
Hooray.
Guvo!
Oh, wow, it's been longer than I imagined. I'm sorry. It's so beautiful in there. So many wonderful bugs. Colors you've never seen before. It felt transcendental. I highly suggest it. Did you find it?
I've never seen you so full.
Ah, yes.
Not even after we left the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild.
Did you find anything of interest?
Well, we went back to the village to take a look, and they were wheelbarrowing out a large
Inn.
a stone.
Wow.
In. They were wheelbarrowing in.
They were wheeling it
in.
in. Yes. And the curse did spread to another finger, but again, it could be part of the conspiracy.
Potentially. What do you suggest we do then now?
I think we need to go back in and talk to them. I'm not super thrilled about the idea, but that's the only lead we have outside of just wandering aimlessly through and see if we find maybe another settlement.
It makes me think
But I don't think we will.
people should have taken less combaty skills. Oh, great. Yeah, I mean, would it be worth potentially doing a little bit of a scouting mission around the perimeter, just in case we've either been dropped off on the wrong island, potentially? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Mount Smith. I don't know about you guys, but if there's another entrance, and if so, what's happening there? Are there other buildings or something in the distance? Like, we've kind of picked one thing, and it sounds bad. So, is it worth going there again? And unless we have something as like a backup, like, oh, let's check these guys out and see what they say about them. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you think about this little village area? Have you heard things? Just so we've got some more information potentially.
Something that strikes me as odd. Zidane, you say we should mention the sheriff. Why didn't they mention the sheriff?
That's actually why I would want to bring it up, because, that was the whole reason that letter that we have even said that the sheriff was why their sheriff had gone or whatever.
If the sheriff went missing, they would have mentioned it.
Yes.
And made it aware and said, well, have you seen the sheriff? Look for the sheriff here. They didn't mention it.
Exactly.
Maybe they're not the ones that sent the telegram saying that the sheriff went missing. And we're always getting this weird feeling that they're up to something. Perhaps they're not the ones that sent the telegram. Perhaps the ones that sent the telegram
are elsewhere.
You know what I think? I think the ones that are in danger are outside the walls. And the ones that are the danger are within it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, that would explain the stone, too.
What are they doing with it, though?
We'd have to ask them.
Well, they're not going to tell it the truth, are they?
Probably not.
As
I'm
Bartholomew
fairly
is
positive they're going to
thinking,
steal it. You go ahead.
Bartholomew is thinking of this and thinking of the idea that there's this, not an estate, but it's like a little village that they're bringing stuff in. He kind of has a bit of a panic attack. So, oh God, oh no. He's thinking of like the revenants bringing like the bodies of his family members into the estate and turning them into revenants and turning them against him. And he's sort of freaking out here. You see Bartholomew kind of losing it. The delirious.
I'm gonna put my hands on your shoulder and go, but snap out of it. We need to go to sleep, like now, before we do anything else.
He's in a cold sweat, panicking. He's like, you're right. Gentlemen, I think we're running out of time, but I do need rest and he's Atticus. Atticus said he'd be back in 3 days. We've got time before he gets back. I do need some rest. I'm not in the best mindset right now, but I do believe those that are inside those walls, they're the ones. I need to rest.
You might be hungry as well. Here, eat this.
And he just pushes a bug into his face.
Eat this. It'll make you feel
He
better.
takes the bug without thinking and starts chewing on it. And in mid-chew, it doesn't seem like he's really reacted. And then his eyes open up. He's been,
Oh, what a waste.
Good, Guvo. You snapped him out of it.
And he's like,
You did not enjoy it.
thank you, Guvo, but it doesn't really suit my taste buds.
I'm
but
sorry.
I do say thank you, I do appreciate it, though, Guvo. You snapped me out of that. You too, Zidane. Thank you. I don't think I'll be able to make it around these parts with this without you two gentlemen here. I'm going to have to
Get
rest.
some rest, my friend. You'll need it.
I'll take first watch.
Yes.
Thank you. And he climbs to his tent and goes to sleep.
He does seem a little off. I worry about him.
Seems very off. Yes, I'm concerned for his well-being and his sanity,
Yes.
apparently, too.
He does seem a little tweaked on the matter.
Seems a lot tweaked on
Quite a
that.
bit. Not
With you two sharing the watch, neither of you take a grit point. And sleeping, Bartholomew, you recover your grit point.
Hooray!
It's the next morning.
Hooray!
Oh, I feel so much better.
Do you feel more sane today, Bart?
I actually haven't had any nightmares last night. I'm used to having nightmares on and off during my sleep. That was a very restful sleep. I'm doing much better. Thank you, gentlemen, for keeping
You're
watch.
welcome. Now let's get on with it.
Yes.
Let's find
Yes.
the truth, even if it means killing a few things.
Especially if it means killing
Exactly.
a few things.
Good thinking.
We should be looking for the sheriff or any other survivors that might be around.
We could use this as leverage. Don't talk about the sheriff to them and wait to see if they ever talk about it. If they never talk about it, then maybe they don't know anything about it like you suggested yesterday. Maybe they are the bad people who have killed or kidnapped the sheriff. And they don't want us to know, and they only want us to help them become stronger.
Yes, and Zidane, do you remember that stone? We should investigate that.
Yes, we definitely shall investigate the stone.
Tell me what you're doing.
So my plan, I'm just gonna walk right back up to the village at this point and
Same.
make our way in.
Okay. The guard at the gate is Hazel again, and she says, "You're back, fire-breathing kittens!" And creak, creak, creak. The gate opens.
Is it the same spread of people at the thing?
You're looking, and you don't see the boy who's showed his foot to you, and you don't see one of the adults. It's 13 people now.
What happened to the others? There was a man and a boy.
Hazel looks at Scarlet, and Scarlet goes, "They're missing."
What, they ran away?
Yeah.
You don't seem too sure on that.
She cries. She just like sobs, and she's holding a support cane now with her good hand, and her other hand's like limp next to her.
Give her a go and pats on her shoulder.
There, eat this.
And he passes her another bug.
It'll make you feel better. Trust me.
She cracks it with no hesitation and sucks out the middle.
Ah, you've done this before, I see. A connoisseur.
I'm from here. I'm from here. These taste kind of like blueberries.
They do,
You're
exactly.
used to
That's
them.
why I like them.
Everyone do a check. I'm going to need you to do a charm check. Add your wit to your charm roll and tell me your charm numbers.
Like our results.
Yeah, the overall result after adding your wit to your charm.
Oh, cool. I rolled a 4, so that's in half, so that's 4.
I got 3.
5.
Bartholomew, you're the most charming. What do you say to this very sad crying lady?
I do apologize. We still haven't found a cure, but my condolences. We are doing the best we can, and seeing that this curse is spreading, and yeah, I know the loss of friends and family is uncomfortable, but it is nothing but just my life. It is nothing but all I know. I wish I could say more to comfort you, but all I can say is that I know what you're going through, and we are doing our best to help you.
I greatly appreciate your help, And if there's anything I can do, we've got available rooms for you to sleep in and kitchens for you to use and anything you'd like. Can we help you in any way? Is there anything we can do to make this faster? Can I show you around the village? I mean, I please.
Are there, from what we've gathered, we've learned that there might be certain things and objects that might lead us to finding a cure for this. Do you have anything around here?
Yes, I'll show you around the village. And she starts taking you like to her hut, which is the largest of this is a wooden perimeter fence, 30 foot tall with sharpened spikes. And inside it are individual detached houses and green space for farming and stuff. This is ye old traditional fort style village. If you guys have ever been to a traditional fort, it's safe inside. So that's where they mostly live. And as she's taking you to her hut, it's kind of hilly, and there's a hill sloping off that has raised black stones on it in rows, like the stone that you saw being taken. And she keeps walking and is heading towards the largest hut. I can get you anything I own. You're welcome to use.
We do appreciate it, but when we were on our way up here, I saw those large black stones. Are those gravestones? What are those?
Yes, and you can see that they're gravestones. So you're asking the GM for confirmation that you identified a gravesite? Yes, you did. That is a cemetery. Mm-hmm. Are you talking to her about it?
Yes, I am inquiring on the stones.
Okay. I can take you there. And she takes you there, and you see several fresh graves. And one of them says, actually, I'll just say there's lots of fresh graves. You're not really close to it, but you can see that the earth looks like it was put in today. Like, looks that fresh.
Bartholomew kneels down and pays his respects. He relays that, yes, we bury our dead what we can, and guard those gravestones with all we can do. And we do have great headstones that mark the memories of those who have been lost to the revenants who were dragged to Summerfell. We don't have the bodies. We are constantly fighting the bodies. I know it sounds very gross.
Every time you open your mouth about your life, it just gets worse every time.
It's very tragic. He's got a good reason to go out and find a cure for this curse.
Yeah, one of these graves is adult-sized and one of them is kid-sized, the one's closest to the edge.
How tragic.
That makes sense.
Anything I can do to help. And she gestures towards her hut. You can use anything from inside. I can give you a hut for the night. Just please, fire-breathing kittens. Why is this happening to us? And how can you stop it? Cure death, fire-breathing kittens.
I think Guvo's going to pull Zidane to the side while Bart is talking to her and go,
remember what they said about something? It was a Karmic Island. Maybe they deserve it.
Yes. You do bring up a fair point.
It's none of our business. Let them die. They probably deserved it.
We need to find out what they did first. If they did it.
Well, whatever they did, they clearly have it's pretty bad.
I have a question.
Yes.
Scarlet, right?
Yes.
So, when we got the telegram saying we needed to come here, you mentioned something about your sheriff going missing. Is missing a euphemism for death in this village?
Oh man, she sobs and she's not saying anything, and you are looking around and you see one of the tombstones says Sheriff Josiah Prados.
That changes the context of that letter quite considerably.
Yep, clearly not missing. They know exactly where he is.
Yes, he's not going anywhere.
She cries and she says, sometimes people get too far gone and they have to be put down. And Sheriff Josiah was my cousin. First his leg turned and then his abdomen, and all too soon he was too far gone. What made him Josiah left, and all that remained was a mindless undead. Scarlet puts her good hand on the stone and looks at it.
My concern is that we can't particularly make you immortal. However, Is there anything that has changed recently that you could pinpoint to say this is where the problem started? Or with an individual? Was there a case zero? What's the zero? What's that thing?
Patient zero.
Yeah. Was there a patient zero type of person?
A month ago, all of us were normal. And then we woke up, and one morning, we had rotten limbs. But it was so sudden, and it affected all of us at the same time. And we're progressing, seemingly at different rates. But all of us are affected.
Guvo starts looking at his own hands and legs and being like, wait a minute. Is this going to happen to us? And he sort of says it out loud.
It's something that we need to worry about. Is this contagious?
I don't know.
I don't like the sound of that.
We're the only ones on this island. We have nowhere to go, no one to ask for help. And she sobs again.
Wait, then how did you get the letter out? Who sent it?
I used my internet
Ah,
to send an email.
An email,
to
of
fire-breathing
course.
kittens.
really?
Yes.
Yes. She's full of shit.
Did anyone bring any weird items back? Say they were scavenging the island for food or something like that, and they brought back like a weird glowing evil rock or something along those natures.
Oh, of course, the evil glowing rock. Yeah, it's over there.
We honestly don't go outside the village very much at all. These walls keep us safe from the giant monsters outside. Everything on an island, the shapes get quite weird. Some things get very small and some things get very large, and it's not safe out there. Even though it's not a large island, it's not safe.
It is King Kong Island. We're going to fight a giant monkey. God.
When you say big, I did eat a very big butterfly yesterday. What's the biggest thing you've seen on this island?
A giant monkey the size of
Oh,
6 stories.
fuck.
Ooh, it's
I
so
knew
large.
it.
No, I'm just kidding.
I knew it. Let's get the fuck out of it.
Excuse me.
Could be tasty though.
So none of us had gone outside recently because we farm inside the perimeter, and we don't really need to go out much.
But you still have to go out though, so that's why I was asking, did anyone bring anything weird back with them?
It's been months since anyone's gone out.
Where do you get your food from normally?
We grow it.
Oh, that
Here.
makes sense. Of course. Well, I feel none the wiser to what's going on. How are you getting on, Bart?
Contemplating a solution, but I am drawing nothing but blanks.
And you're positive there isn't any giant gorillas anywhere?
This is how we discover Guvo has an irrational fear of gorillas.
What? This one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm drawing a blank as well, Bart. Because I can't cure death. I'm not a magic man. I can make little fireballs. That's about it.
About the only thing I could think of for your village is you haven't left these walls, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And have you tried staying outside of the walls? Maybe the curse is coming from inside the walls.
I could try.
Everyone, evacuate.
Yes. Or just leave.
Yes, everyone stay outside of the walls. Perhaps what's causing this is within. I know that where I'm from, there's a place similar to that seems similar to your village called Summerfell Estate. It's a mansion that anytime anyone has gone to investigate, they'd never return. They just vanish. So perhaps the guess of what we've known, we've seen adventurers go up and then they return as revenants. So they're turning to undead. So perhaps that's the same curse. Perhaps it is the same curse, and this is what's happening at Summerfell.
It makes sense, just narratively, because it's a nice little link.
That's the best conclusion Bartholomew can come up with, is just comparing it to what he knows.
But if this seems so familiar to your home, what would you say is the most similar thing about it? What's the one thing you can pinpoint to say that is very similar?
It is a place that it is an enclosed place that where undead come from or are sourced from, and it seems like that's what's happening here. Maybe not the same, but it's very similar. And all I could say is that maybe instead of staying within these walls, okay, question to the GM. The bigger island, McHale Island, is a bigger island that's off to the side, and it's pretty easy to get to that island from here.
Guvo can swim there.
Guvo could swim there. I'm talking about the inhabitants on this island. Would they be able to swim there?
I'll take them one at a time.
Oh, they need to actually evacuate this island and go over there. Bartholomew looks to Scarlet. I would suggest leaving this island immediately. I've heard from a fisherman that brought us here that this island is cursed. It's named Karmic Hills because it brings karma onto those who are deserving of it. But I wouldn't see how that makes any sense. I just see there's a cursed island, and you have become cursed and you need to leave immediately. I would suggest that maybe leaving the island would stop it and reverse it, but I'm not sure. That's the best solution I could come up with. You'd need to leave the island and head to the larger neighboring island, McHale. Perhaps set up a new village there.
I will take it to the council and we can vote on it. It's certainly staying here does seem to be leading to all of our demise. Make a charm check. This is the vote of the council. It's like a D2 for you, right?
Yes.
So flip a coin, our coin flipper.
Yes.
Well, I already rolled. I rolled a D4 and like 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 and 4 or 4. I rolled a 4, so that's a 5. That's a 5 total. Okay.
The council votes yes.
My concern is that because it's Karmic Island and they're in the process of receiving that karma, no matter where they go, that it's already happening to them, as though the island initiates it, the judgment that's been placed upon them. But then once it's active until it's done, as though you can never escape it. So really, they need to pay for whatever they've done to stop it. So Guvo's going to sort of ask whoever the Scarlet say,
Do you know of anyone who's done anything quite bad recently that you could attribute to you having to pay some sort of judgment to this? If you're all dying of undeadiness, have you done anything to a corpse recently? Orbs?
No.
Have you defiled a burial chamber or something?
What? No.
Maybe not you personally, but as a group.
No, the whole village. I mean, we haven't had anyone die for a few years before this, honestly. Like, you see that the rest of the grave sites have a lot of grass covering them. You know, like, they look normal graves. They're not fresh. Honestly, like, you know, we're just the people of the Karmic Hills. That's just the way it's descended from an old word. Like, Karmic Hills comes from another word. It just sounded nice. You know, it's because if you're good, the good karma is nice.
There's no such thing as good karma. Karma's only bad.
I don't. Whoa, okay. Maybe that explains why we don't have a lot of tourism. I didn't think of that.
What I think you're thinking of is Dharma. It's a little bit different.
Oh, the Dharma kills.
My worry is that you've all done something bad, and it has initiated some sort of judgment upon you. You, up until this point, have been very good, law-abiding villagers, growing food and going about your lives. However, something has happened, and the island is punishing you. So figure it out, because you'll help us a lot. And then we can help you.
All right. So far we have that the council has voted yes on Bart's proposal, and that Guvo perhaps thinks doesn't matter.
Let's find out.
All
It
right.
might not.
The villagers start packing. ready to
You're
leave.
going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. Who is it? Who's the traitor? Who's the grave defiler?
Crazy, like southern preacher.
You're all going to hell.
They pack faster.
Repent.
Confess your sin.
Day 1, Guvo eats a lot of butterflies. Day 2, Guvo goes Southern Preacher on these villagers. All right, they're packing. They're going to need some time. What are you guys up to?
Well, I've told you what I'm up to.
I'm gonna actually try and talk. I'm gonna try to talk to some of the villagers while they're packing.
Yeah, you talk to them. Let's move on. We skip ahead.
Yeah.
I, the GM, will guide you a little bit because some time has passed. The villagers are packing. What are you guys up to? Do something else.
I would actually like to use one of my good skills to. I'd like to. I actually go up to Hazel to look at her fingers. How old does Hazel look?
30s.
She look 30s. Okay. I go up to. Excuse me, Hazel. I'd like to. I have some knowledge in medicine. I'd like to take a look at your hand and see if there's any way I could treat it, instead of just thinking that it might be something that could be treated.
Medicine skill DCs are listed in the wounds section. First aid, using the medicine check, you roll against the wound DC. So go ahead and make your medicine check.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll roll a d12 for a wound DC. Okay.
So a 6.
Okay, you did not beat the d12 random roll. What are you doing to this hand?
I'm holding onto her hand by the wrist, kind of looking at the fingers, trying to gauge what I could do. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything I could do. In this case, it literally looks like it's just rotted and no longer useful except for being reanimated undead. About the only thing I could think of would be amputation. But I'm not doing that. Do not give me that look. I wouldn't do that without your consent, or with the consent of even the council or anything. I just... has your village tried anything like that? Does your village have doctors?
Not really, no. We all we're born and raised here and we grew up here. So not much medical training apart from what we can gather from the local herbs and whatnot. We do our best.
I tell you what, my mother is a surgeon. She's very skilled at, dealing with injuries such as this. But we've never dealt with ones like this, just the cuts and bite marks from zombie attacks. But never anything like this. This might be beyond her. This is beyond my understanding, but maybe she would be able to understand. But
You're welcome to look through my herb stores, and there's a lot of herbs out in the jungle.
I'll take a look. Maybe there's something I have a bit of knowledge about medicinal medicines and medicinal herbs. I'll take a look. Thank you.
I was going to go over.
And I won't cut your arm off. Do not worry about that. I'm not going to do. I am not the surgeon. I'm more of a surgeon's assistant.
I was going to suggest to Zidane, after Guvo's given up trying to preach, he goes over to Zidane.
I've got an idea. Would you like to come grave digging with me?
That's actually a thought I had too. We need to inspect some of these corpses. I'm sure between the two of us we'll have a brain cell to see what's happening here.
Out of character. I was thinking that too, but I'm too much of a gentleman to think of grave digging. I couldn't say it.
I've got a good shovel.
I guess I would suggest that we go to the sheriff. Everybody, that's one we know. We know it's an important person.
Yeah.
Whether he died as a zombie or died not a zombie. Because if he's a normal corpse in there, we know something bad's happened to him. If he is a zombie in there, then they are at least telling the truth in that way.
Yeah.
But I guess we need to do it very carefully so they don't think we're going, crazy.
Well, I just thought it's easier to do it dig up a grave now because everyone's evacuated.
Yeah, they're busy.
Hey.
Everybody's back in their houses packing. You are not being observed. You dig up the grave?
I'll keep watch.
Okay. All right, everybody roll your grit number of d12s.
Hooray!
Finally, a roll I don't
do.
suck at.
19.
27.
I got also a 27.
Yeah.
Wow, what do y'all have? 4?
Oh, wait, I was using the wrong
got
thing.
4.
Yeah, 4.
4D12. Okay, I got 3D12.
I'm going to subtract that from a number. And that means that it only takes, you guys are like super strong.
That's all we're good at.
This dirt is fresh. It only takes you 20 minutes to dig up this grave.
Sweet.
And you find a rotten, horribly decayed, like corpse. Like this is not how a person would look if a person died. This is like rotted, like rapid decayed. It smells really, really, really bad. And it's also got the head in its hands.
So they decapitated.
Yes.
Is it the same, like,
Well,
the skin texture and colouring? Is it similar to the other people's current wounds? Yeah, so he definitely is zombie dead.
Yeah.
Has he got any? Can we search through his pockets just in case he's like, he stole a pendant or something and it's like, oh, that's the curse. He deserves it.
You search through the pockets and you find $15.
Free money.
it means you only go 85 now.
If we dig the rest of them up, we can get quite a lot of money. We can pay our debts.
No, we're not grave robbing. This is Karma Island.
You get money where you can.
He says that, and that's kind of true. Maybe, no. We all dug up this grave. That's kind of a bad thing.
He just needs to know.
Gentlemen, I was talking with Hazel earlier, and she suggested going around and looking for medicinal herbs. We're talking about finding a cure. There's no doctor here, and I have a bit of medical knowledge from my mother, who's a surgeon. And from what I can gather, maybe all they need is just some medicine, a cure. Maybe that's what's happening.
Perhaps.
Perhaps indeed.
Zombies aren't all the same. I've heard of stories of zombies that run charging at you. The ones I go up against, kind of just they don't get more. They just kind of lumber towards you, and the ones I deal with, you kill them and they come back. They transform into dust and trail off and come back. Later on, so. Zombies come in different shapes, sizes, different variations. So maybe something that can just be cured by finding a medicine.
I think the problem is we know that that Scarlet told us that when they fully turn, they turn as though they become different. So they're being controlled by something. What if it's the bugs? Like that zombie ant. Have you ever seen this before? They get infected. There's these ants, and they become zombies. What if they've been eating things, the wrong things, like you said with the herbs or the bugs? Oh God, I ate so many bugs. I'm going to die.
He starts retching.
Oh no. Well, looking for medicinal herbs that might, they're still busy packing. I mean, that's certainly another clue, since clearly this gentleman rotted his way far more quickly than he should have.
Oh, by the way,
So yes, I think
it's
the herb
$4.
hunt. I'm good. I don't particularly need grave money.
Give each of them four, and I have 3.
Accomplices.
Let's just put him back on Josiah. Just give a little pat. There.
Now we're all accomplices in this grave digging activity. They can't just blame me.
So yeah, I think herb hunting is a good idea.
I can show you some good places. I saw bugs. I was in there for quite a while. We could follow the trail, and then I know the way back as well.
So I'll tell Bart all the locations that I went to, and let him sort of lead the way, obviously, because he knows what he's potentially looking for. But Guvo will just be there to be like, oh, that was a good space. What about that over there, or that over there, or that over there?
Okay.
Jim, would I be making a search check? A spot check or a medicine check when looking for herbs?
A spot check?
Spot check?
So you guys are describing that you're leaving the village, the villagers are packing,
Yes.
you're out in the jungle, you're wandering around, and you're hoping to retrace Guvo's steps from earlier. But as you remember, Guvo, what was your role earlier about how good you navigated?
Oh, terribly.
Was that heads or tails? It was tails.
It was tails.
He's guessing.
Yeah. You can do a spot check. Let's see what you find.
Sure. Or, sorry, me or Bart.
Bart. But you're not in the location that Guvo you were trying to go to. You're not sure how to find your way back there, but you're in a new location, and you've gone really far into this island, and you'd say you're approaching the opposite shore.
Oh. Did we see anything on the way there? Just sorry, quickly. Like any other, like remnants of other societies or, other buildings or anything as we went in? Because we've gone so far. No, we've not seen anybody.
You have not. No. You have seen some crushed trees. Like, the paths here are pretty big. Whoa.
Guvo starts rummaging around trying to find a banana.
There are bananas trees here, absolutely.
Oh, he's definitely grabbing a bunch, holding them close to him like this.
It's a bargaining chip.
Yeah, basically. Good monkey. Take the banana. Run!
GM, my roll was a 7 total.
For your spot?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, wow, that's pretty good. You found
Yeah.
like a bunch of medicinal herbs, and it's getting dark, and you're filling like what, your pockets? You're stuffing herbs in pockets?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys make it to the opposite shore of the island, and you have a bunch of like, you've got like some basil, you got some tarragon, got a bunch of good herbs there. Can this cure on death? I don't know.
Tasty.
You'll find out. Feed it to him. And you hear the waves washing up on the smooth white sand. The sun has totally set. It's very difficult to see herbs anymore. You guys are on the night of day 2. You spent day 1 eating bugs, day 2 convincing the villagers to leave, and you are on the night of day 2 with your pickup arriving tomorrow when you walk up to the beach. Waves wash up on the smooth white sand. This island is not densely populated. There's no sign of anyone, no footsteps in the sand. You keep walking, and everyone do a spot check.
Oh. 3.
4.
Great. With a 3, you guys see the result of the 2 and the 3. The result of the 2 was that sand has been gouged out, furrowed, in deep trenches leading to the sea. These tracks have fully dried and are now smoothed out a bit by the wind, as if several hours of wind had blown the sand around. You also get the DC of 3 spot check. The gouges aren't random. They lead to 5 points, connected by 5 lines. Could that be a shape?
Ooh.
And with a 4, the other 2 take off your headphone. No, just roleplay it properly. With a 4, in the middle of the 5 lines, the sand is concave, as if a scoop was dug out. Not dug, burned? At the bottom of the hole is a smoking pink goo.
Mm.
And that's what you all notice with your spot check. As you hear, whoops, whoops. A 5.5 foot tall frog cracks a whip. And arriving on the beach, you all are still kind of like near the jungle. You're hidden by you haven't like gone all the way to the water yet. And so arriving from the water amphibiously is a frog riding a bottlenose dolphin, and the bottlenose dolphins beach themselves. Ooh. And they start to like dolphin land move, like, I don't know, what is that called? Waddle, like, and try to like get themselves up on the beach as the whip cracks at them. And a dragonfly is flying overhead too, and these things are coming onto the beach as you all are watching. So leaving you with that scene, I'm going to let you choose how you react in part 2. It's probably a lot to take in, huh? But you're not alone on this island.
Awesome.
So joining us in part 1 were... just say bye. Just say bye. Joining us in part 1 were Guvo.
Goodbye. I'm still quite hungry.
Zidane.
Goodbye. See you soon.
And Bartholomew.
Goodbye.
And I believe we had a review?
Oh, yes. We have a review from Chrome in Mud, and that's in capital N Mud. I'm not sure if that's your full name, Chrome in Mud. I can't imagine someone named Chrome, last name Mud, but we'll go with that. 5 stars. This is such a creative podcast with fun new games to learn about. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Today's mid-episode shout-out is, quote, "Huge gratitude to Mateo. Your continued support has been instrumental in making Briscoe a success. First investor, best friend." End quote. You can arrange for us to read your shout-out at firebreathingkittenspodcast.com. Is there an episode of Fire Breathing Kittens that would make someone you know smile? Tell them. We also have paperback, ebook, hardcover, and audiobook adaptations on our adventures on Amazon and Audible. Welcome back to Fire Breathing Kittens, an actual play podcast. Today we're joined again with Bartholomew.
Well, it's good to be back, and I'm ready to go for the second part of our adventure.
Zidane.
I am ready, basically.
And Guvo.
I'm ready and hungry.
All right. Everybody, please roll a d6. I'm going to hold this paper up so you know that I'm not changing it. I wrote on it beforehand.
I got a 2.
2.
3.
The number was a...
3.
3.
Can you please tell us what happened last time?
We were sitting at the Fire Breathing Kittens Guild Hall. Noodlestag sent us on an adventure on our first adventure as new recruits to go deal with a town that is in trouble. A sheriff sent us a telegram saying, or a village sent a telegram saying, the sheriff is in trouble. He needs our help, and to go and save them. And we got a telegram promising 1,000 gold for each of us. So we went there. Got a boat out there. We played some poker. And once we arrived, we set up camp. We looked around, went hunting, gathering, and came across the village, and they're cursed with a zombie plague that is affecting their skin and is slowly taking them over and turning them into zombies. And they're burying their villagers, and it's really sad. And we are trying our best to find a solution, and we're doing everything we can. We've started saying they should probably evacuate, and they voted to do so, and they're getting out of there. My character Bartholomew is looking for herbs to hopefully find a medicinal remedy, if that's the case. And where we last left off, we're on this beach, and a lot of weird things happening. We found Bartholomew sees a crater with this smoking peat goop in the center of it, and this frog person whipping a bottlenose dolphin has washed the shore, and they're beached there. That's very odd. So, yep, that's where we're at now. We're looking for a cure for this zombie plague, and we're kind of at wit's end because we've kind of running out of options of what the problem is. It's just really bad, and they seem to be telling the truth, but kind of creepy, and we don't know if they're very honest or genuine, but it seems like they are, but we keep thinking they're not because we can't. It's driving us mad, especially Bartholomew. He's kind of going insane. But now a bunch of weird stuff has happened. That's where we left off.
All right. So you hear a sound from the beach ahead. Whoops. A 5.5-foot tall frog cracks a whip at a bottlenose dolphin. One of 5 bottlenose dolphins, and they arrange themselves in a pentagram on the sand in the same location where the divots were. They crawl up into that shape. There are also several other dolphins and mud skippers of various sizes and a 15-foot long dragonfly or 2 waiting from the sand and the beach watching. The lines of the pentagram begin to pulse a red light, and the dolphins are rocking side to side and making dolphin sounds, and the frog is cracking the whip, and the lines of the pentagram pulse red light, then fade, red light, then fade, red light, then fade. Condensing in the middle of the pentagram as you watch, a cloud of glittery pink light illuminates this area, and the light is bright enough to illuminate it like day. This is bright light. Pink raindrops hiss and spit from the cloud and fall downward onto the sand. As they land, they hiss and sizzle, smoke rises up, and a pit is dissolved and vaporized from the beach. How far are you all away from this ritual, from the frog wearing a leopard pelt cracking his whip at the bottlenose dolphins?
I'm hiding now.
Yeah, I'm also going to attempt to
if
hide.
If I was on the beach when I was investigating this and the dolphins started to get up, I would have instructed Alistar, all right, boy, come behind us here, the trees. And we'd sit behind the trees watching from behind, watching this go down. Bartholomew has never seen anything like this. He turns to Guvo. Well, I think we found the source of the bright light we saw on our way here. Remember that first night?
I do. But wait, he looks familiar. Wait, that's my brother.
And he rushes off into the beach as fast as he can, which is pretty slow.
Your brother?
Okay. You rush onto the beach, and the other frog sees you. His face lights up with joy. Guvo, is that you, my brother?
Vuvu! Wow, it's wonderful to see you. What are you doing here? How did you even get here? What have you found something of a new creature? You didn't find a giant monkey, did you?
I love the giant monkeys of this island, but they're not amphibious. I wouldn't tame them, but I swim here. Of course.
Yes, of course.
And I'm so excited for you to be here. I didn't even hope to dream that you would be here to witness my magnum opus.
What are you doing, dear brother? What is this weird dolphin pentagram thing you've got going on right now?
I found a way to prove that I am the most talented animal tamer in the world.
How, dear brother, how have you worked out such a feat?
The dolphins. I'm going to make them perform a ritual. It'll resurrect the greatest amphibious beast of all time.
Of course.
Better than...
Excuse me. Sorry.
No, good.
You sure? Okay. No, it's broken the moment. Sorry.
Okay, I'll keep going.
Sorry.
Better than these dolphins or these dragonflies or even my giant mudskipper. No, even better, beast who, with one mighty blow, sculpted the very cliffs of Mikhail Island. Brachyura, my brother.
Of course, the ancient dolphin ritual. I wondered why you talked about that so often as when we were boys. But you finally done it. Well done, brother.
And he taps him on, sort of like heartily hits him on the shoulder.
Well done. These dolphins look well trained. I would like you to meet my friends. They've been... Oh, wait. I need to tell you something. Something evil is afoot. Dead things. People. Humans becoming dead. My friend Bart over here won't be able to tell you much more. Bart, Zidane, come here. Meet my brother Fuvo.
Yeah, I'll walk out and head on down and say, I didn't know you had a brother, Guvo.
Yes,
nice to meet you.
He's a good man. Frog man. He's a good frog. Anyway, Bart, please tell Fuvo of the things we've seen. You know so much more than I.
Yes, an undead scourge of plague has infected the people living on this island. Do you happen to know anything about it? You seem to be very, very knowledgeable in the ways of magic and sorcery. Does this sound like some kind of sorceress, have some kind of link to some sorceress magic?
I honestly thought this island was uninhabited. I don't know what's going on. Villagers? Who?
Yes, they're afflicted with some kind of plague that is. He pulls out his hand and shows it. It turns limbs undead, and it spreads, and then it takes control of the body. And from what the villagers have told us, they become undead fully and start ravaging them, and they have to take them out. We dug up one of the corpses of the chef, one of the esteemed individual, and his head was lobbed off. Apparently, that was the only way to kill him.
That sounds quite unfortunate. Oh, excuse me, dolphins. Keep going, dolphins. Sounds very unfortunate for them. I wish that I could help them, but I did. What could I say? Dolphins, keep going. The dolphins are like,
Do as your master commands.
Well, while he's doing that, and like you said, like it was lighting up the night and everything, and it was like, or you said there was like sparkles kind of coming off, like when this is happening too. I'm gonna be.
yes. Yeah, it's like an acid. When it hits the sand, it burns it away.
I'm gonna watch the sparkles kind of go the direction we came from, heading towards the little village.
They're going everywhere, man. Like, well, the light is shining like so far up into the sky and like above the trees even, and like it's even brighter than when you guys saw it. Like, yeah, so bright. And I'd like all of you, your characters would know something that the players wouldn't. This is a good time to tell you that, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. There's a lore, a legend about Brachyura. You all know this word. It's hard not to know this word. Your characters all live in this world, and you all know who Brachyura was. Brachyura was a monster, a huge ancient crab, huge, that wiped out whole cities hundreds of years ago before finally being slain. That giant crab killed not only a few people or a lot of people, but whole regions of the face of the planet. You all know Brachyura. It's like talking about a very important past historical event, you know, like a team of heroes took it down, you know, like it's a big deal.
Fuvo, why do you believe you can do this? You are the best animal trainer in the planet, but this thing could kill us all.
I am honestly incredibly surprised that you don't recognize the brilliance of what I'm doing here. Don't you think I can tame it? I can tame it. After all those challenges in the arena, you know I can handle Brachyura. In fact, you're here now. A match is even better with an audience. Watch as I tame the giant crab of legend, brother.
You've got a good point. I trust you, brother.
Bufo, I have a question. Sorry.
Whoops.
Question, when did you start doing this?
A few weeks ago.
Well.
Boo, I suggest that this is not going to do that, I think. I think it's causing something way worse than a giant crab monster.
Unless it's an undead crab.
That's terrifying.
Well, we do know that in legend they say that the crab was defeated. Hoover, do you think you're bringing it back to life? As though it's an undead plague crab?
Yes, I am reviving it. Its corpse is right off the island. By legend, this is where the great heroes slayed it. I shall make it my pet.
Life,
Help.
bringing something back to life usually has a price to it, and I think this village is the price that is being paid to bring the crab back, to bring Brachyura back.
Well, they probably deserved it.
You keep going on about this village. Who cares?
I do.
I do as well.
Well, the
Fair.
problem is we've kind of entered in a blood pact to revive a sheriff that is currently dead. So we've already failed. And now we found out that you might be the cause of it, brother. How long is this ritual going to take? How much longer have you got left?
I have a question for my players.
Yes.
There are a few options ahead of you. Are you as a group voting to stop Fuvo? To let Fuvo complete the ritual, which would take like another 2 minutes? Or to describe what your plan is here? Like, you want a giant undead crab?
I mean,
You want no giant undead crab?
I vote giant undead crab for many reasons, but that's just my vote.
Okay.
What my reasoning would be, let's save the people that are on the island and then continue the ritual. And then fight giant crab.
Yeah.
They are evacuating. They're going to be gone like tomorrow when the boat gets here anyway, right? So like, honestly.
Yeah, so as long as they don't get caught up in the,
Okay.
They're already, I'd say giant crab. Let's do this.
Okay, so let's say the villagers are on the other side of the island because you evacuated them, right? They packed all their stuff
Yeah.
and they're like as far away on this island as they can be, right?
What about you,
That is their status.
Zidane? What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, my vote was actually to stop him from doing this because something tells me it's going to kill the rest of the villagers. I don't want to have to kill your brother. But if he won't stop.
Well, that might be quite interesting. Yeah, I like the dichotomy of that.
So let's get everybody's opinion one at a time. We've got one for maybe the ritual was just completed. Whoops. And there's a giant crab. Sounds like Guvo's vote. He's nodding. It's conveying well to the podcast. He's nodding. A one for I don't want to fight a giant undead crab. It's
yeah.
Yeah. And then it sounds like Barty. Barty, what's your vote, Barty?
Bart says, so long as the people on the island are safe, fighting a giant crab sounds quite adventurous. And it seems like we're in good company. It's, this is Guvo's brother. He's seems to be doing something magical, and bringing this giant crab would be a fun thing to fight. He seems like he's got it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he wants to tame it, so he probably won't want it dead. Again.
So as you ask that question, how much longer do you have in that ritual, Guvo? So let's pick back up there.
Okay.
All right, diving back into the scene.
Fuvo, how long do you think you've got left to finish this thing?
I'd say probably. And then the light goes much louder. Gets much brighter all of a sudden. The dolphins are arranged in the pentagon, squeaking weird dolphin sounds, the whip cracking overhead driving them on. It gets louder and louder and louder. The ritual crescendos. The pink light finally solidifies into a huge amount of goo. That's cool. The pink glowing goo spreads out like starbursts, shooting out into the sky, flying out into the ocean, and then the pink light dives under the waves. And then there's silence. Just the waves. The light fades. There's nothing. Nothing. The ocean is calm. It's kind of peaceful here under the moonlight. You've never seen a dolphin this close before. And then a mound of water larger than the entire Karmic Hills islands rises from the sea. Thus begins a legendary combat. Go to legendary combat page. All right, this is not an ending I had anticipated, but it's all right. Brachyura.
There is a GMing.
The long dead giant crab is statted as a legendary NPC. I'm really glad that I wrote out all of its feats. It has gun training, quick draw, fanning, rifleman, constitution, and hard to kill. Holy cow. This massive... So first, it looks just kind of like a crab, but way bigger.
Well, it's undead as well. I imagine it's like dripping.
And it's undead, but crabs actually don't look different than when they're undead. So it just is glowing pink.
So it's not moldy.
What?
It's not moldy and covered in barnacles and seaweed and like.
It is covered in barnacles. Yeah. It's got like muscles stuck to it. It's been underwater for a while, and the eye stalks are empty. There we go. Yeah, but they're still waving around. But all the shell parts are still there. If you've ever seen a dead crab, they are just like it looks like a molted crab. Yeah. It's missing all the softer parts. And that is what is emerging from the water in front of you. You guys are 300 yards away from this crab.
Right.
And the turn order is Zidane had 3 aces. Zidane.
Yes.
Then Guvo. Then Bartholomew. As I get to go first as the GM because I just randomly drew a full house of poker. So the first one to act is Fuvo, who goes, yes, Brachyura! And he gets on a dolphin.
Yes,
and
love it.
grabs the whoops. And the dolphin is like, and like they head out into the water together.
Love
Like
it.
there's a pod of dolphins, 2 giant flying dragonflies. They're 15 feet long, and a bunch of mud skippers with their weird frog eyes on top of their head, and they're all going out
Love
to
it.
reach the giant crab. That's what they do on their turn. Now, the way that Desperado Quickdraw works is that you can move the number of yards of your grit score.
Yeah.
So they move like 4 yards in this 1 second, in this split like cinematic second that passes. Zidane, and also Guvo and also Barty, if you guys could look at your list of actions are like turns are very fast in this game. So I'm going to prepare our listeners and you guys by reading off your typical, like what you do on your turn. First you move, and then you do 1 action, and that's the end of your turn, right? So usually you move, draw, move, load, move, cock your weapon, move, aim, and move, fire, right? And so it'll take you like five turns to, and you wouldn't want to aim and move. Sorry about that. Anyway, and then so it'll take you about 5 turns to like shoot off an attack. And that's different than other tabletop role-playing games. Usually you can like move an attack in 1 turn, but these turns are like 1 second each. So they're just keeping track of, it's a game focused around pistols and rifles, and loading the weapon is very important for this game designer. So if you guys could probably get a dice to tick down how many turns are left in each of like 1 dice for each thing that takes multiple actions, like loading some guns takes multiple actions, chambering, etc. So I'm suggesting that you prepare a dice for each of those, like a different dice for each of your multi-turn actions, whatever your weapon is. And then for the listeners, we are using the mechanics of the system, but we might change the wording. That's called the flavor. So for example, Zidane, I think what you're doing is like a firebolt instead of a pistol.
Yes.
Yeah. But don't worry, we're using the mechanics. So what do you do instead of like loading and...
Oh, let me pull up my sheet. I actually did them. Yeah, the open thing was like balancing his magical, getting his mana ready to go, so to speak. And then basically what all my flavor was just him doing magic sounding things.
Yeah, you got to chant your spell. You got to, yeah. All right. So that is what we're doing. We're 300 yards away. I've got this distance tracker from Brachyura to you guys on the beach, and it's 300. With that said, Zidane, you're first. What do you do?
So Brachyura is just in the ocean, though, right? Like that's just where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't. So it's going to be a little bit, but I'm at least gonna. Since it looks like we're fighting a giant crab, so I'm just gonna move towards the ocean, but I won't. Like that's just as far as, because 300 yards is a huge penalty for that. So I'm just gonna have to run up there, and that's pretty much all I can do.
How many?
All 4 yards.
All
My
4
grit's
yards?
4.
You can run, which doubles it, but means you can't do any actions.
I may as well run up there and double it up to 8.
Okay. So you're 300 minus 8, which is 292. Okay?
Would be might take a while.
Guvo?
Guvo will, seeing obviously Fuvo rush off, he's going to be like, oh, well, here we go. But he's also had that initial shock of, wait, this could be the one. This could be the one to kill me. This is perfect. So he's going to rush head first, but he's going to spend his first 1 of 6 actions drawing his basically his flavor for his shotgun that he has is that he has such a powerful punch that it can send shockwaves. So for him, once he can get into the water, he can punch into the water, and it's kind of like sending like a tsunami, mini tsunami, do you know what I mean? As like a force. So basically he's sort of like getting ready by pulling back his fist, ready to like rush forward and punch as hard as he can. So that's his move and draw his Stein to do.
Yeah, and how many yards did you move? What's your grit?
That's 4.
You're at 296 away. Great.
Hooray.
Bartholomew?
I'm going to begin drawing my rifle from my back. So it's 6 actions to draw from my back. So I spend my first action drawing from my back and directing directing Alistar towards the tree line, where I'm trained to literally stand on the tree line outside my hometown, taking out these undead. Now I'm fighting a giant undead crab. At 300 yards away, this is plenty of space for me to get my weapon drawn, so that's what I'm doing.
So what's your distance away from the Brachyura, and you drew? Or you spent one of your draw actions?
Mm-hmm. I'm at the tree line that's along the beach.
So the same. Still 300. Okay. Yeah. It's Brachyura's turn. Brachyura doesn't have eyes to blink, huh? What does it do? It raises a claw and it reaches out. The claw smashes into the waves and a huge, like you mentioned, a tsunami. A huge tsunami forms and sprays like 100 feet of water. And the crab is like moving, getting used to moving. And it spends its first turn, just the first second, just being like, oh, I am alive. Its very emotions are just destroying everything around it. You know, like it's like a toddler splashing in a bathtub. That's what it spends its first turn doing. Now it's Fuvo's turn.
Nice.
Fuvo is moving at dolphin pace, which is a lot more than you guys. Because the dolphin's able to fully move, and dolphins move a lot. So Fuvo's already 50 yards out at the end of its turn.
Cool.
His turn. Yeah. Zidane.
I will move 4 more yards into the ocean, or onto the beach. I'm not sure how far we were from the water, so I'm just going to move closer to that. And this time I am going to go ahead, in case it decides to move closer to us, I'll go ahead and start prepping up the old firebolt, the first step of my action.
Great. You're at 288 feet. How many actions until you get to fire?
So it's my first one, so 1 plus 2 actions. So 2 more.
Well, that's just drawing. Then you got to load it. Then you got to...
Oh.
Yeah.
Open
Look at that.
1, 2,
All right.
3.
We're going to move on. Just prepare that. Guvo, you're at 296 feet.
He's moving and he's still drawing.
All right. You're swimming and drawing. So you moved. You're at 292 now?
Yep.
All right. Bartholomew, what do you do?
I'm only moving enough to where I'm definitely behind a tree, between sort of acting as cover, and I'm just still drawing my musket.
Okay. You're still at 300 feet, still drawing your musket.
Mm-hmm.
The crab, Brachyura, is like, I am alive. Maybe I'm hungry. And looks, there's some dolphins coming towards it. It's like, oh, snacks. And it reaches out and it grabs for the largest thing it can, which was this huge mud skipper. Oh, that's such a big mud skipper. It pinches the mud skipper in its crab and it moves 50 feet towards you. It's now only 250 feet out.
Cool.
Yards, whatever. Distance out.
Yeah.
It moved 50 in one round, you know?
Yeah.
It grabs a mud skipper and it raises the mud skipper in its giant claw and it rips it apart and starts putting all the little pieces in its mouth. And Fuvo's like, no, my mud skipper. And he starts cracking that whip faster for the dolphins to reach there faster. Mud skippers and dragonflies, go! And the dragonflies are dropping aerial attacks on the crab. We're now on Fuvo's turn. And the mud skippers are doing slam attacks on this crab. The crab does not care at all and is like, oh, snacks are coming closer. Zidane, you're at 288 feet, but you moved 50 closer because of that crab, so you're at 238.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go 4 more yards closer, and then I'm going to tick up another action. So I'm now at the what would be loading normally. So I have 2 actions in, so I've got a few more to go. And that's my turn.
You're at 234 feet away from this crab. Guvo, you're at 262. What do you do?
I'm moving and I'm drawing. It's still happening.
All right. How many did you move? 4?
Number 4 again.
Okay, you're at 258 yards.
Yeah.
And you're still drawing.
Yeah, it takes 6 actions to draw.
It's going to be a while.
Staying at the tree line. And does this crab look like it's making its way towards us, like walking towards us, closing in, or is he staying?
Yes, it's getting closer to you. You're only 250 feet from it now.
I was just making sure I wasn't going to stay because I know they're getting closer and I'm staying on the shore. I didn't know if it was getting closer to us or not because I was hoping it was getting closer to us. So it'd be easier to shoot at. I'm staying where I'm at and continuing to draw my weapon.
Great. That ends the player's turn. It is now Brachyra's turn again. Brachyra was 250 feet away, and it takes this turn to munch on a mud skipper.
Tasty.
Delicious. Fuvo's turn. Fuvo has moved incredibly fast. Fuvo is now only 200 yards away from the mud skipper. And it's... well, that too. From Brachyra. Zidane, you're 234 feet away. What do you do?
I'm going to move another 4, and then I'm on... so it's only one action for me to draw, so that was load last turn. So now I'm on the cocking action this turn. So that would be me getting the incantation ready.
Yeah. What do you say as your incantation?
Firebolt. Pew.
Nice. 230 yards away. Guvo, you're 258.
I'm moving 4.
What are you doing?
And I'm still drawing.
All right.
4 down.
You're winding up your arm like a baseball pitcher. Bartholomew, 250. What are you up to?
Still drawing my weapon from my bag. We got 2 more turns or 2 more actions to draw the weapon.
Yeah, you're not able to cock it, load it, aim it, touch it, fiddle it, all these extra bits.
It's like a bop it.
Bop it, squeeze it,
turn
punch it.
Twist it.
Brachyra the crab is satisfied with this mud skipper. It burps. Blah. And that is the sound that comes from the crab this turn. And it starts to swivel its eyes towards the island. Uh-oh. Fuvo moves 50 yards closer and is now 150 yards away. Fuvo's going to attempt an attack. Fuvo goes, "Dragonflies, attack!" And the dragonflies fly overhead. They drop rocks on the crab. And the rocks fall down onto the crab. And when they hit the crab's shell, they go, boom! Those were not rocks. Those were bombs. And the dust of the bomb makes little clouds around this crab's shell. You can see it even from this distance.
Nice.
Zidane, it's your turn. You are 230 yards away from this crab.
Well, I am unable because now I'm going to have to aim. So I'm just going to do my aim. But if I remember correctly, we can't move and aim at the same time. So I'm just going to stand my ground in the water and take aim.
Taking aim. Great. Guvo.
He's moving.
Oh, I am totally doing this combat opposite. It's supposed to be the lowest person goes first. That way the highest person can interrupt. We're going to start that next time.
Okay.
I forgot the interrupt rule. You guys wouldn't want to interrupt each other as players. It doesn't really matter, huh? But the enemy is going to start to interrupt you once it starts being attacked. So this is the last round that we do with the wrong order. Sorry, guys. It's our first time playing Desperado Quickdraw. Guvo, you're 254 feet away.
And he's moving, and he's still drawing. Still moving further.
Got it. So you're how many? You're 250?
Yeah, with a -4.
Great. Bartholomew, this is the last round. We do it out of order. What are you up to?
Same, drawing my weapon, and then we go to the next turn. It'll start with me since I'm the slowest. So immediately on this next turn, Bartholomew finally finishes drawing his weapon. And now he's going to begin loading his weapon.
Yeah?
So finally, his musket's held in his left hand while he's reaching in to grab some ammunition, some of his trusty silver ammo that he uses to fight off against the Revenant Horde.
Nice. Silver against the undead. Hey, that came in handy.
Mm.
Yeah. Awesome. Moving up the hand power size, Guvo. It's your turn. You're 250 yards away or whatever distance is. I think it's yards.
I'm moving.
From? Yeah?
4. And I've finally drawn my fist. It has come out like a turtle shell. I mean, up to this point, I feel like I'm walking in slow motion compared to this crab who can do insane amounts of things in a second. Like, I'm just like, am I running in slow motion? That's me. Done.
246 yards away.
Hooray.
Zidane, you're 230.
I'm just gonna. I don't want to take those penalties because it's still a pretty far shot. So I'm just gonna hold. Just hold on where I am on the aiming, and we're gonna wait and see what happens.
You could goad it forward. Be like, come over here.
We'll see what happens next.
That means it's Fuvo's turn. Fuvo is directing the dragonflies to drop bombs on this Brachyura long dead giant crab. Now, I'm going to tell you some stats from the legendary NPC stat from the rulebook. This is the stat block. Ready? You guys be so jealous. Ready?
Go.
Drawing is a free action. It just has it. Just can't. It's always drawn.
Jesus.
Here's another. I mentioned that list of feats: gun training, quick draw, fanning, rifleman, constitution hard to kill. Ready? It can cock and fire as a single action when hip firing, which is when moving.
Jeez. I hope Fuvo's at the same level as well, so we at least have somebody helping us. Proficient enough.
It can load as a 1+1 actions per cartridge being loaded. It can open and eject as a single action, and it can aim down sights as a free action. It doesn't have to aim.
That's mad.
That is the legendary NPC stat block of this creature, and you guys do not want to even know what its aim DC is. We're talking 5d12s.
Jesus.
Ooh.
Minus 1d2, because that helps.
Wow. Love it.
Fuvo's like, attack my dragonflies! Brachyura, the long dead crab, draws as a free action, raises its giant claw. It spends its turn cocking and firing as a single action when hip fire. Or it still needs to load, right? We have to load at the beginning of every battle. Okay, so what it's doing is it's opening the claw to load it. And it will open that claw. It's 1+1 actions per cartridge being loaded. Technically, it has... It doesn't say... I didn't write down how many bullets fit in its cartridge. I'm going to make it load every time.
What gun is it using?
It is using a Solomon Coyote, which I'm flavoring as a crab pistol shot. Like a mantis crab, mantis shrimp.
You've got 5 shots per barrel.
5 shots.
Per barrel.
Thank you. Okay, all right. 5 in barrel. Thank you. Okay, so it is going to spend its turn loading, which is to say that it sucks in water into it. It's like, or like it opens its claw and it's like, yeah. So the dragonflies seem oblivious to the danger that is about to happen. This is like that turn when you're in Pokemon and it just says it's charging sunlight.
Yeah.
Oh,
Someone interrupt
no.
him. Someone interrupt him.
I got a full house.
Yeah, we can't.
I knew it was cheating. I knew it.
You watched the screen. Poker's so unfair. Anyway, Bartholomew, we're back to you. You had the lowest poker hand. You're 250 yards away, and the sunlight is gathering, shall we say.
Well, his hands have finally reached into his ammo pack of 27 silver bullets. Well, they're not actually pure silver. They're lead. They're circular lead bullets, but they're coated. They're dusted with silver.
Right.
So he finally reaches in, grabs his ammo, and is getting ready to load.
One bullet at a time. Click. 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 Hold on, crab. Click. I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go. Oh, everyone's dead. Oh shit. Oh, everyone's dead.
Oh, this is. I don't even feel it like with multiple bullets. It's just a one shot.
Oh, it is one at a time then.
You have to load it every time? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
got a
and
sniper rifle, I imagine.
I actually picked the Silver Star long rifle conversion, and that one most accurately, I believe, is best suits like a musket, because muskets you put the bullets in, or you put the gunpowder in, and then you drop the bullet. You use that stick. I forget what you call it, to mash it down. And you take the bullet and you mash it down in after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does make sense because, you're using, for you, all of these steps actually make a lot of sense. Yeah. Actually, I like the flavor of what we're doing here. That's cool. We've got an old-timey musket loaded with silver bullets from our zombie fighting Barty, and we've got our incantations are happening. Yeah, you guys flavor it up. Yeah, roll with it. All right. Good job, Bartholomew. All right. Guvo, you're 246 yards away.
Right. I'm moving for a start. Definitely moving. It's a shame you can't double move as an action. So I will do move, obviously.
You can, but it takes away your ability to load the gun or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it does need loading. I think loading for me is 2 actions because it's a double. It's 2 chambers. So
you got 2 arms.
Yeah. It's so weird to flavor it like this, but yeah, it's kind of like I don't even know how to flavor this. Like he's reeling back. I really don't know. I think I've written this terribly. He will just he'll load himself in basically, which is like I've put reeling back the punch, being like pushing it up. Yeah, it doesn't work as well. It just doesn't work as well as I'd hoped it to be. Anyway, he will just do move and load. He is pulling his fist back. I really don't know. That's it. He's pulling his fist. He's ready to go. Just wish.
All right.
Loading in. He's loaded.
That's fine. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Zidane, you're 230 yards away. What step are you at, and what does it look like?
So I'm still on the aim, and the last step I have is firing. So basically I've got like a weird like aura thing kind of going on, where the fire is kind of concentrating at the end of my hand, where it would let out, and I see it gathering sunlight to pair its solar beam. And I'm now weighing the option of, is this worth the, I still think it's too far back to really make this shot useful, since I spent so much time doing it. So I am going to attempt to call out the crab to see if I can get it to come either maybe distract it or at least get it a little closer.
Definitely closer.
What do you shout to the crab?
It's a good question because it's dead. Hey, crab, don't pick on them. We're much tastier.
The crab doesn't look like it heard you.
Yeah, it's too far away.
All right, so you're 230 minus 4. So you're 226 yards away.
Yep.
It's now Fuvo's turn, which means Fuvo and all of Fuvo's menagerie. A dolphin is carrying Fuvo closer and closer to Brachyura. A dragonfly, 2 of them are dropping bombs on Brachyura. Brachyura sees the bomb incoming, right? And interrupts. Because Brachyura got a full house.
Yeah. Love it.
I guess. Which means it takes its full turn. And it moves 50 yards closer to you guys.
Yeah.
Not because you called it out. Sorry, I didn't hear you. But because it moved randomly. And it didn't want to get hit with a bomb. So
makes total sense.
It is now 200 yards away from the beach, which is 100 yards away from Fuvo. 176 away from Zidane. 192 away from Guvo.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, yeah? Fuvo and Guvo are different. Oh my gosh. 100 away from Fuvo. 176 away from Zidane. 192 away from Guvo. And 200 yards away from Bartholomew.
Mm-hmm.
And the dragonfly's bombs miss. And I think they're still charged, right? You don't lose charge just because you moved. Like, their gun's still loaded. That's pretty cool. Bartholomew, you're 200 yards away from this crab. It dodged a whole bunch of bombs just now.
Mm-hmm. Still loading. I take out that stick and I'm backing down the bullet into the chamber.
You gotta love it.
So
Thank you guys for playing new systems with me. I just wanted to try this because I was like, what does this look like? This.
I've never played a game this slow before. Dear Lord.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I really like that I have a group of people willing to try weird new games with me. Thank you. All right. So Bartholomew, you loaded your gun. Is it fully loaded now?
I've got one more before I can aim.
I feel you, brother.
Hey, it's It's going to do some damage, I think.
It's going to kill it instantly. He'll be like, oh my God.
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
So much build up.
It missed. Hooray! Start again. Redraw it.
Oh, I don't have to draw it again.
No,
The drawing
just
is
hilarious.
the drawing is the worst with it's a rifle, so drawing is the worst.
Yeah.
After that, it's not too bad.
All right, Guvo, it's your turn.
He's loading. He's loaded.
All right, you're 100.
I am
You're
loaded.
192 yards away.
I'm ready
Are you
to-
moving closer?
Oh, definitely. 100%.
188.
Hooray! I've only got 188 to go.
All right, Zidane.
4 more yards closer. I'm just gonna keep my aim going. That's all I can do.
All right, you're 172. You're not going to fire? You can't fire yet because you haven't finished aiming, or?
Well, no, it's aimed and everything. It's prepped and ready to go. It's just I know what the
problem is
the
your-
DC increase is 32.
32. Insane.
Okay. So Fuvo, it's Fuvo's turn. Fuvo's
Come on, Fubo, you can do it.
Yeah.
My magnum opus. And Fuvo moves close.
Bring him here, brother.
Yes, bring him
Bring
closer
him
to
here.
us.
The dragonfly flies over above the crab. So Fuvo's now 50 yards away. And Fuvo directs the bottlenose dolphins to splash water at the crab, which is an attack. It's a very powerful water. It like bangs water against the shell. And you guys start to doubt whether or not Fuvo might be able to tame this crab. Because as the water splashes on it, it's hard. Like, this is a giant crab, the size larger than the island in the ocean. The waves lapping on it are larger than what the dolphin did. So it occurs to you guys in this moment that you might be really screwed.
He's definitely bitten off more than he can chew.
Yeah. And now it's the crab's turn. The crab moves 100 yards.
Ooh. The other way.
Nope. So you guys, I just will read off some things. Bartholomew, you're 100 yards from it. Guvo, you're 88 yards from it.
Yeah.
Zidane, you're 72 yards from it. Fuvo is at negative 50. What happened there was that Fuvo, so picture like a really large boat that carries like boxes, like international shipping crates, running over like a tugboat. Fuvo just got like, he's spinning underwater, you know.
Yeah.
He hasn't surfaced yet. He's still like spinning and spinning and spinning underwater. The dolphins are scattering, you know, like he's sort of like how a surfer gets crushed by a wave and they're like, which way is up? That is where Fuvo is in this moment because the crab is setting its sights on the island and is heading towards you guys to eat.
Awesome.
Bartholomew, you're 100 yards away from this crab.
I got it.
He's nearly loaded.
It's time to start. It's time to start aiming. It's gotten pretty close. It's a little easier to. So yeah, he pulls up his musket and starts to aim. So he's just finished loading. So now he just finished loading. He's getting ready to aim. So I'll have to aim and then fire. So 2 more turns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please don't.
Guvo,
Please.
you're 88 yards away
Yep.
from this crab.
Um.
And your brother is nowhere to be seen
Yeah.
and possibly got squished.
I know.
Might be dead.
Yeah, so he's definitely worried. He's going to look at, just quickly, he will be moving closer, but also looking at the ritual site and whether there's anything there that as though it's like it's still active. Is there any still light coming from that the center of the pentagram?
There's a pink smoke rising up from the sand.
Yeah. It makes you think, actually, Guva's going to head for that. Going to head for the
Yeah.
smoke. While
Smart.
cocking. Whatever that means, he's cocking. But he's definitely moving towards the smoke, the pinkness. That's me done.
You are able to move there. You had gone along 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like movements around. But
40
when this
feet.
crab pushed all that water forward, it pushed you up on the beach and you find yourself there right now.
Awesome. Perfect.
So you are with Bartholomew at 100 yards away.
Okay. Cool.
So you are at the ritual site right now, which just got washed with a bunch of water too. All the lions are gone.
Okay. I've got an idea for what I want to do, but it's another action, so I'll just wait.
Yeah.
I'll just wait.
All right. Zidane, you are 72 yards away from this very large dead crab.
I like the idea that Guvo got washed backward, but I managed to hold my ground against this thing. Well, the difficulty does get lower for me, so here's what we're gonna do.
You can do it.
It's still got a plus 16 increase to the DC.
Do not miss.
But so I guess the way this part's gonna work, let me get my sheet pulled back up. So I have a 3d12 for firearm aim.
All right, roll your d12s.
And then I have a d8 for the gun as well. So I guess I just roll all 4 of those.
Is it a d8 or an 8?
It's my accuracy was 1d8.
Okay,
That's what
all
the
right.
book said.
Sure.
So,
We play it like it is, folks.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
I like to give each episode a fair chance and just like do what it says the first time through.
Oh,
and just,
definitely.
like,
You don't know what a game's like until you've played it exactly the way it's told.
yeah.
So I got a 31.
That is a good number. All right, so I'm going to subtract your distance modifier. You were at 72 yards. So according to this table from the book, that is 16. And now this is a 0 DC giant crab. If you hit the side of a barn, you can hit the crab,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So really it's just distance. And so you said you had 31.
Yes.
What is 31 minus 16?
15.
15. Okay. So obviously this crab is immune to instant death. You guys know that. It's a
That's
giant
fair.
crab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Normally I would check to make sure that it wasn't above 20 because that would be insta death for most things. You could blow away parts of the crab. I'll give you that. But you can't insta death the whole crab. But yeah. So that was below 20. So you don't blow away like one of its 8 legs, or how many legs do crabs have? I don't know. One of its legs.
6 with 2 pincers, I
Yeah, I
think.
think I have 6 in the.
Yeah. Somebody Google that. Well,
It's definitely 6
continue
and 2
playing.
pincers.
Nice. All right. We've got crab experts here.
Crab spurts, actually, I think you find. That's the official.
Okay, so because you hit, I now roll a fortitude check. I need to know how, okay. How many DCs do I roll? Oh my gosh. I roll a lot of dice, you guys.
Yeah, I bet.
I'm going to need like an auto roller, or I got to roll 5 times and just add stuff together. Oh my gosh. I rolled 36 minus 1d2. So it's 35. 34. I rolled a 34 in my fortitude check against the wound DC. What was your number?
15.
Okay. The enemy did not fail, so I do not take a wound. I do not subtract wounds from grit.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Great.
I mean, all that means is that it just has a lower chance. Every time you remove grit, you lower its chance to be able to be wounded again. So it's like it's not getting hit. It's just.
I did it wrong. Ready? Okay, here's what I'm reading. It says legendary grit 5, but then it says fortitude 2d12. So I'm thinking I don't roll the grit number of dice how you guys would. You guys would roll your grit number of dice, and that's your fortitude check. And I was always wondering, like, why is there a separate fortitude stat here? It's because that number can never be beaten. 5d12s would make it impossible to wound thing. So I'm instead going to roll 2d12s because I see now, I'm looking at the stat. See? We're playing this for the first time. The first one was an 8. The second one was a 7. So that's 15.
Yeah, so
So it's
zeroes out. It's better.
Yeah, still zeros out.
It's better.
Okay,
But
but
it is better.
it's achievable.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why it has a fortitude stat. I got it. Okay. I'm learning.
It's interesting that it has a fortitude stat and we don't.
Because it has 5 grit. So it would be impossible to injure. Because when your HP is your defense, to have a boss fight, you got to have a separate, you got to separate those two. Otherwise, you could never injure it. I get it. Good design, game maker.
I would say that's more of like
So-
a retcon design. Oops. Is it possible? A fortitude check.
We
Yeah,
found
we
out.
changed it. It's fine. Fixed.
Just add a
It's
second
fixed.
stat. It's fine. Okay. So that was Zidane's turn.
I'm backing up 4 yards, by the way.
Are you sure you want to?
Yeah.
So you were at 72. Are you saying you're further from it?
Yes, I'm going back 76.
Okay.
Something tells you that gap's going to get real close.
It's now Fuvo's turn. And Fuvo's dragonfly is going to try to... For Fuvo's action, I'm going to do like one animal per Fuvo's turn, right? So the dragonfly's got its bomb ready, and it's ready to drop one on the crab, right? And the crab is going to interrupt.
Makes sense.
This is just vicious. The crab is going to interrupt and take its... First, it's take its turn, right? So first it's going to move, and then it's going to fire because it doesn't have... it can cock and fire as a single action while hip firing, and it can aim down its sights as a free action, so it can aim while moving, which is pretty crazy for this game. So it's going to move out of the way, the dragonfly misses, and then it's going to blast that dragonfly with a... so it sticks its claw under the water and shoots a jet of water like a bullet at the dragonfly. And if you guys have ever seen that animation of the wings just going poof and like
Yep.
sort of firework exploding and falling down to the ground. And I'm going to not describe the rolls and increase the narrative. And that's what happened.
Cool.
Okay. One dragonfly down, one left. And Fuwa goes, "No, do you know how much work it was to tame that dragonfly?"
At least he's alive. That's all that matters.
Oh yeah, Fuvo surfaced just to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Good job.
Perfect timing. Yeah.
Bartholomew, you're 100 yards. Oh, it moved, didn't it? I said it moved.
Yeah.
It moved 20 yards closer,
Oh, cool.
maybe 25.
good.
So it's
So
now
it's
75 away
one-
from the beach. It's
Oh,
now Zidane.
Oh,
It's
no,
now
wait.
5 yards from you.
Oh,
Ooh,
oh wow.
nice.
I'm glad I backed up.
Yes, actually. Yeah, good job.
Guvo, it's 75 yards away from
Yeah,
you.
got it.
And Bartholomew, it is 75 yards away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Bartholomew, you're 75 yards away from the giant crab. It just blasted a dragonfly out of the sky. What do you do?
He's ready. He takes his musket up, looks down the sight. I'm flavoring the short scope as it's just a flat barrel, but he's got that eagle eye from fighting all the undead scourge at his home. He thinks back at his home where he was fighting all those the undead horde, the revenants, and this screeching, the sad cries of children and the townsfolk where he's from. And he looks down. He takes a deep breath. Next turn he'll take a deep breath out and fire the trigger. He's aiming for one of the eye stalks.
Okay.
Mhm.
Guvo, what do you do?
I'm by the pink smoke now, right?
Yes.
Okay. He's gonna fire at the smoke and push downwards to try and destroy the site. So basically, it's like imagine just like punching down into the ground and just cause like a erupt.
The sand
Yeah.
sprays up.
Yeah.
The pink goo sprays up too. Guvo, I'm going to roll. Okay?
Yeah.
Please make a fortitude check and tell me your number.
Okie dokie. Right, so for me, it's gonna be. So fortitude is grit.
Yes, roll your grit number of d12s, which I think is 4 for you.
We talked about this, didn't we? It doesn't have a D12 element. Did we discuss that?
Grit number is 4, right? Please roll 4 d12s.
Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah.
We got, oh God, Lord. 17. Brilliant.
17.
Wow.
Okay. Please take 1 wound. Reduce your grit by 1.
Okie dokie.
But what you've accomplished is you've really taken a dent out of this huge pink goo mass.
Mm-hmm.
It burns you, and your fist turns kind of like Scarlet's fist.
Oh, no. Okay. Right. Okay.
Okay.
Has the crab been interrupted in any way? Has it been affected?
And as you turn to look at the crab, your whole body moving because frogs don't have necks.
Nope. Just shoulder.
The crab kind of jerks as if its motion were interrupted and shudders. And then its eye stalks are whirring around furiously.
Cool.
No.
Zidane, it's your turn.
All right, so I am now 5 yards away from this crab. I
you
am
are.
very close. Well, it's a little too close, I think, to try and firebolt it again. But did I see Guvo hit the pink goo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you see the crab shudder. I think
Okay.
all you can see is crab, actually. Based on the
That's
size
true.
of
Yeah,
the
I'm not seeing much
Yeah,
else. I'm
he's
just
right
seeing
there.
crab. So instead, I think because it is so close and it's only going to get closer, I will draw my sword, which is an action, and then I am just going to go full ham and run towards it, screaming a battle cry.
All right. So it's drawing as one action for sword?
Yes, it's a dagger, but yeah, the flavor is that. Yeah.
Yeah, you draw your dagger. What's your battle cry?
Oh, just generically yelling. Like, it's just a...
Ah! It's now Fuvo's turn. Fuvo. I can cock and fire as a single action. Holy cow. So cocking is when you rotate... Or, no, where is the chambering? Chambering isn't here. It doesn't have any chambering stats.
For your gun, it was it's a
one action for cartridge
magazine,
being-
so it's like it's got
Yeah.
5 shots per magazine, and it costs 2 actions to load the magazine or to eject the magazine.
Okay. So what it does is it opens its claw. Yeah. And Fuvo's like, my dragonfly! and like hops on its shell and is trying to make its way up the crab. Bartholomew, we're back to you.
Oh, I see Zidane charging forward. The ice stalk started moving. He was freaking out. He's at the peak of his deep breath, and he's observing the situation. This crab that's larger than an island is slowly raising up, and you can see the underbelly after it. I imagine it's rising up from lurching from that hit that Guvo did. And then I see Zidane, or Bartholomew sees Zidane charging at it with like a battle cry. Thinking quickly, he aims for like the softer underbelly of the crab, and then exhales and then squeezes the trigger.
Yeah.
So now this is going to be firearms, which is 3d12. And so I'm aiming down the scope, and I've got, what's the feat I have? Rifleman. When wielding a rifle grip weapon and aiming down sights, you roll your aim checks 2 steps higher.
Nice.
So does that mean I get a +2, or does that mean...
Yeah, you have 2 on your side, not what's being subtracted from you, which is
And
16
then-
because you're 75 yards away.
And then with the short scope, since it's 10 yards away or more, I get a +4 to my aim check. So that's
Great.
a +6.
Yeah.
So let me roll this. Hopefully this doesn't flood. Ooh, that's a nice roll. 32 total. A
32.
10, 8, and 8. Really nice.
Okay, 32 total. What's 32 minus 16?
16.
Okay, subtract distance modifier. Any extra above 0 adds to the wound DC. So I will roll my fortitude check, and I will add 16 to what I'm rolling against. Okay. What's the wound DC of your weapon?
10.
10. Okay, so it's 26 that I'm rolling against. I'm sorry if I did that wrong earlier. And so I'm rolling my 2d12 against 26 because the 10 plus the... Okay, so that was a 1. And that was a 10. So that's an 11 that I have. So that means I fail.
Hooray.
And it says if an enemy fails by more than 20, it's 2 wounds. How much did I fail by?
What did you roll?
You
11.
rolled an 11.
No, that's
So 11, or 26 minus 11 is 15.
15.
Okay,
Yep.
so that's
Ooh,
1
nice.
wound. So Bartholomew, describe the first wound the crab has taken.
Yay.
Right in the crevice where it has all those plates on its underbelly, right, and where they meet in the center. I would imagine I'm not looking at a picture of an underbelly of a crab right now, but I know they have those plates there. It shoots right in the center of those plates, and just you hear it screech out as it happens, and without even blinking, he just goes into the motions of getting ready, another shot ready.
Nice.
That was just one shot.
Kuvo, it's your turn.
Okay, so feeling the pain on his hands, obviously, he's going to think, okay, I can't hit this thing with my fists. Time to get the shield out. So he is drawing his shield from his back, this giant tower plate shield, drawing it from his back, a bit like a turtle. And basically, he's just like taking the next 2 actions just to get it in place so he could attack with that instead. So he's...
Yeah, and you can go ahead and attack with that because it's just a shield. So like,
Well, it's my melee
It's like a
weapon, so it takes 2
sand-
actions to load, to draw.
I am kind of bored. Why don't you? Why don't you
We've
just
got
do
to
it?
play it properly. I want to take 2 actions to load it.
Okay. All right. Zidane.
I'm just going to run up and stab the crab.
Stab the crab. Oh, by the way, everyone think of 3 title ideas by the end of the episode.
Okay.
Yes.
Forgot to
So
remind you guys. All right.
my melee aim is 3d12, but then it says I have an accuracy of +1 steps.
Yeah.
So
So
what does
roll
that
your
mean?
3d12 and add 1.
Add.
It's like if your dice was a +1 to your dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, awesome. That is 33, 34.
Great.
My wound DC is 1.
Okay, the wound DC from the dagger is 1. So
Yes.
your total number is the wound DC plus what you rolled, and it is
So 35.
35. Okay. So I roll a fortitude check, which is my grit number of d12s, except for legendary creatures, against the wound DC. And you're at 35. I got a 12. So
Okay.
is the difference greater than or less than 20?
It'll be 23.
Okay. When you stab this, it cracks the shell, and one of its 6 legs fragments, and the piece is like porcelain, like a bathtub being dropped off a 4th-story building. When that bathtub lands on the ground and the pieces of porcelain go flying, that's what happens to this crab leg.
Nice.
It's like a bit dangerous. Like they had
All
been
right.
under tension. Yeah.
I'm now in melee with a giant crab.
An undead crab that's hollow.
Yes.
Oh, man. It's now Fuvo's turn. My dragonfly!
So pissed.
He's
Well, it's only been
he's
3
so
seconds
mad.
for him, so yeah.
He's sitting on top of this crab's shell, right? And he's banging his fist on its head, and he's like, follow my instructions! And he's like whipping. He's riding this crab. And the crab is not, unfortunately, obeying his instructions.
Nice.
Uh-oh. It looks like his plan was never going to succeed.
Nope.
It's now the crab's turn. And the crab goes, delicious. And it reaches for Zidane.
Okay.
Zidane, I want you, I'm going to, please make a fortitude check.
So I have that toughness feat, so it means my physical defense is doubled. So fortitude's my grit, right?
Yeah, so you would roll, I guess, double the number of dice? I don't know.
I'll just double the number I get.
There you go.
I don't want to roll 8 dice. So that is going to be a total of 60 then, I guess.
Okay, that seems on curve.
Nice.
I can deal with this. Well, its attack is a firearm aim of 5d12. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I need someone with a dice roller to do that for me.
5d12.
I'll do it. I've got one up.
Thanks. So it's aiming at you with 5d12.
39.
39. Okay, whose number was higher?
Mine.
Okay. You pass. It's the waves around you spray as the crab misses you and hits the ocean near you. This is like being in a hurricane. Whoa. It's very cold. Bartholomew, we're back to you.
I take out another silver bullet, and I'm witnessing the battle going forward, but I'm in battle mode.
Have you opened and ejected?
All I can think of. You're right.
You haven't.
That's one
That's
action.
also an action.
I'm not going to say this is the worst combat mechanics I've played with, but it's up there.
There is now, for the listeners, there is an optional rule to where you can actually have multiple
Yeah,
actions
it's like
per
2
turn.
to 3 if
Yeah.
you want a quick game.
We're
So it
playing it
said-
once per turn. So if you don't like the way
Yeah.
this sounds, you do have the option of, you can take 3 actions in a turn.
Exactly.
It did say you could do that. And I was like, I don't know why it would say that. Let's try it out and see what the base rules are. And so that it comes with an expansion built in where you could take 3 actions per turn. And I see now why it comes with that.
Yeah.
I think it's because when you think about how much like damage you could do, you could one shot somebody in one go. So they've sort of built into this idea of, let's just have then, if it's easy to kill people, then it's hard to build up towards it,
Yeah.
which isn't.
This does make it nice to build up. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I get what you're trying to.
There's
where you're coming
definitely
from.
time in between
Yep.
when you
Right,
know.
time.
Anyways, so thank you for ejecting your previous cartridge from the chamber. Guvo, you got your shield out yet?
Now I have. It has been completed.
Good. Please describe the end of this battle. Just
because
what are you doing to that
is
pink
my
stuff?
action. To
Yeah.
finish loading. Sorry, to finish drawing. Now
us
I
out of
finished
our
drawing.
misery.
Next turn I can hit it.
No.
You want me to just do it?
You're hitting it.
Yeah.
Damn it, we're not playing it properly.
That's fine.
Then he's just gonna, with his shield, just boom down onto the pink goo, with just like smash it down with his shield as hard as he physically can, which is 4d12 for me.
Yeah, roll it. Let's see if the sand.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, it's 3d12 because it's melee. 3d12. That is terrible. It's a 14.
Okay, sand doesn't defend. So you did 14 plus your wound,
Yeah.
which is the wound DC.
So it's a bludgeoning punch essentially. That's kind of how it's said. So you get a +4. I guess that goes up to 18.
Okay. And then that means 18 is less than 20. So that does one wound.
I'm not sure I can get this back up.
Let me see. I think my fortitude is, so that hits. And then because it's not, if it's 20 over at that point, it's instant. Any extra above 0 adds to the wound DC. Okay, so the difference is what I would subtract. And at that point, if it was, okay. This pink goo goes spraying with your shield. And oh man, the sand is going everywhere. I would like you to note in your next game that your hand's kind of messed up and a bit undead.
Okay.
So ongoing quest going forward, Guvo's hand got messed up. Yeah. You guys are all doing your best, but it doesn't look like your attacks are even scratching Brachira's crab shell. Like you're worried that you might die before this ends. But a crack appears in that shell. Like a steam vent, a pink cloud bursts from the crack, rising into the air. Brachira, the shell starts to glitter pinker and pinker. Fuvo's like, what is going on?
My dragonfly.
Zidane, you're right up close to this, so your whole world goes glittery pink. Brachira dissolves into pink dust. Fuvo splashes into the ocean. And with the blowing of the wind, the pink dust floats out into sea. Brachira was already dead.
I knew it.
We've reached the epilogues, my friends. I'll now read you a variety of epilogues depending on what you accomplished this adventure. First, the village of Karmic Hills never again has to worry about being zombified. Yay.
Nice.
Hooray.
And one of the things that could have happened in like a parallel path, if Fuvo attacked you guys and like the dragonfly took that pink goo out to the village to destroy it, was that I'll reveal now that the pink goo would have landed on a tombstone, and like the tombstones. So we're just doing like an aerial view of the island. We're zooming out. The villagers have packed up and are on the other beach closer to the mainland. You guys, the sun is starting to rise as y'all are covered in pink dust. It's like everywhere. You look like a dusted marshmallow, but it's all pink.
Ooh, tasty.
Fantastic.
You saved Scarlet's life. Scarlet was defo's gonna die. That creeping up her arm, she had not a lot of time left. You guys, fix it now. You did. Good job.
Oh, okay.
You interfered when it mattered most. Without your intervention, she and her whole town would have probably died there. Good job, fire-breathing kittens. Because of you, Scarlet lives. You did it. You saved the town. The island of the Karmic Hills would have all died and become undead because of you. You're heroes. And when you zoom out and you look at the tombstones, you see Sheriff Josiah Prados, Zebediah Carmichael, Holly Thabet, Mildred Carmichael, Eustace Prados, and Thaddeus Carmichael.
Who are they, sorry?
One of those, I think I recognize one of those names, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I recognize the last name. We just
That's
didn't look at
interesting.
the tombstones.
They have your last name, Zidane.
They have
Came
my
back to
last
life.
name.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yep.
If they convince Fuvo not to raise Brachira from the dead, nope. If they don't save the town, nope. If they do save the town, yep. Okay. I think I read through all of our conclusions. Guvo, your brother's always had a lot of pride. It's hard on him as he splashes frustratedly into the ocean with his fist. He's like, oh. What do you say to your brother?
One day, dear brother, you'll be ready to take on that thing again. But for now, I think you need more time and practice.
It's good that you were here to save him from himself. And to risk the destruction of whole swaths of the planet to satisfy his own needs for fame, his pride had gone a little too far. You stopped him from doing something terrible. You're a good brother, Guvo.
I try, but I did let him do it, so I don't know how good I was. But I believed in him. I wanted him to succeed.
You're the one who pulled the plug, so it's all
so.
good. Thus ends our conclusion. It's time for pickup. The sun is rising. The villagers are already on the beach. What do you guys say to them as you walk up to them?
Townsfolk, we have solved the issue. You may now return to your village. You will no longer be. I'm not sure how to cure your current afflictions, but it'll stop spreading now.
With both of her hands, the good one and the creepy one, Scarlet clutches you, Barty, and says, "It won't get worse."
I can promise you it won't get worse, but it does seem concerning. I'll look into finding a cure to reverse what's happened so far. As you can see, our friend here, he points to Guvo, has been affected by it as well during the fight to free your people. But
thank you, fire-breathing kittens. Thank you, thank you. And with the sun high in the sky, the villagers heading back to their town, cheering, happy that there's still 13 of them.
Great number.
There's not a cloud in sight. Birds are chirping cheerfully. 3 days after you were dropped off at noon, Atticus Birch arrives at the beach in his small fishing sailboat. The three of you are sailing back to the mainland, returning to the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild Hall, ready to collect your $1,000 each, take a rest, and go on another adventure. Joining us today were Guvo Strongfoot.
I really wanted to eat that horse.
Bartholomew Salvador.
I really do enjoy having made friends, good lasting friendships with these two gentlemen.
And possibly not alone in this world anymore, Zidane Carmichael?
It was fantastic meeting new people and fighting a giant crab and shattering pieces of it.
Bye-bye.
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 Have you heard of the Think Inclusive podcast? The Think Inclusive podcast, presented by MCIE, exists to build bridges between families, educators, and disability rights advocates to create a shared understanding of inclusive education and what inclusion looks like in the real world. Check out the Think Inclusive podcast.